a backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Supplier pricing is happening right now at O'Reilly Chevrolet during Truck Month. That means big savings across our lineup. Take up to $4,000 off the 2026 Colorado, up to $5,500 off the 2026 Silverado HD, and up to $10,000 off the 2026 Equinox EV. Supplier pricing is going on right now, so don't miss your chance to save. Find us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or visit O'Reilly.com. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Morning begins in the Rincon foothills. Rocking K, a master planned community and place to call home, offering distinct neighborhoods designed to fit your lifestyle. Explore the outdoors, walk the trails, visit Saguaro National Park. Enjoy community parks and make new friends at Rocking K resident events. Walk to Vail School District's newest campus in Rocking K, Saguaro Creek. 17 model homes, 6 quality builders, move-in ready homes available from the 300s. Rocking K, designed by nature. A community by design.
Swing into spring with $145,000 in cash and prizes only at Casino del Sol. Every week, you could win up to $1,000 in free play and win an invitation to the grand finale on May 29th, where $20,000 in cash and prizes is up for grabs. Don't strike out. Stop by for your free daily entry ticket and get in on the action. Join us for drawings every Friday and Sunday at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., and 8 p.m. only at Casino del Sol, an enterprise of the Pascua Yaqui tribe.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Congratulations, Coach Lloyd and the Arizona Wildcats on their drive to the Final Four. For nearly 6 decades as an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics, we've seen a long history of Wildcat teamwork and excellence. We know Arizona drivers need someone they can count on for their car's next championship drive. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care will be there with affordable tires and award-winning service at 14 area locations. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960. We're here to get you there.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
And we are coming to you live here on our final day in Indianapolis, Indiana. It is the Final Four, the national championship game tonight. It is a cold, sunny day here in Indianapolis, Indiana. You might say, or some might say, a perfect March day for a title to be crowned. Unfortunately, that is a title that your Arizona Wildcats will not be wearing here at the end of tonight. U of A falls in the national semifinals on Saturday to the Michigan Wolverines. I am broadcasting once again. We're back at the Indiana Convention Center here. Radio Row was only for Thursday and Friday, or last week anyway, so that was torn down pretty much right after we left on Friday. So we are actually coming to you today from one of these fancy little office pods that you'll sometimes see in professional office buildings. It's like it's got a little table in it. It's got several outlets, which is all we really need. I got to kind of trade cords for cords to make sure everything is sharply charged. But it could seat 4 people if we needed it to. I'm only one person, so it's plenty of room for me. It's got air condition. It's soundproof. I cannot, in fact, it's right next to a guard station. And the young lady, when I walked out, she was like, "Could you hear anything out here?" And I was like, "Absolutely not." I could not hear a single thing that was happening out on the opposite side. Now, she did bring some food back from lunch, and I could smell that in here. I don't know if there was a vent coming from behind me where she was seated, but she had a burger, and I could definitely smell that burger coming through the vents. But in terms of people outside talking, we are in a kind of not a heavy traffic hallway here at the convention center, but there are people, because of the weather of the day, there are people walking through this area to get to from one side of the building to the next, maybe closer to where the arena is. It is very interesting. You can actually, it's very much like a lot of, I'm sure you've heard the stories of Minnesota and downtown Minnesota, where you can kind of walk through tunnels and corridors to get from building to building, so you don't really have to walk outside a whole much. Well, this convention center is connected to the arena, the stadium, so you can literally walk from one side of the convention center down through a tunnel and into Lucas Oil Stadium. It is also connected to, or has a bridge that goes and connects to about 4 hotels here in the area as well that are downtown. So there's it's kind of one of those situations where you can hit a number of different places, locations here in the downtown area without actually having to go outside. And on a day like today, that's kind of nice. Although, like I said, again, it's sunny out here. It's just a little bit chilly, especially if you are not in the sun. I don't know exactly what the temperature is currently, but let me check that for you. It's actually, now it's up to 56 degrees, but when I was out there at lunchtime, it still felt like it was in the 40s.
You know, Dragon Ball, if we keep getting 100-degree Aprils, we're going to probably need some tunnels downtown Tucson as well.
Absolutely.
That would not be bad. That would not be bad to have some corridors connected to different buildings and whatnot throughout places in Tucson, for sure. 520-848-1290 is the number. As you can hear, I've got the full crew with me today. We've got David Dragon Ball Amata. We've got J.W. Madden. They are back in Tucson, and we'll talk to you as well today. 520-848-1290. We're going to get into what happened to the Wildcats here on Saturday night. Had a chance to go back and look at a little bit of the tape of the game. It was very hard to watch. I'll talk about that a little bit as well. It's not – I mean, the Final Four, it's great. It's awesome to be here because it's such a spectacle. It's not the greatest visual event for spectators, especially like if you're – I mean, I was walking on the corridor, like the concourse, the first level of concourse walking that's above what they call the lower bowl here, and even standing on that concourse, it felt like you were a million miles away from the court. Imagine being imagine being at the top of McHale Center in that second level concourse, and like being maybe being actually back by the garage where you enter into the building. That was kind of like the distance factor that you were looking at in terms of if you were seated in what would be like center court. I mean, you're center court, but it still feels like you're looking a million miles away. My message to people on Saturday night was bring binoculars, because that will help you view this game a whole lot better. And then where they had the media, where they at least had me seated for the game on Saturday, it was at such a low angle behind the basket that it was you couldn't really watch the game. I mean, we were watching, and me and the people I was sitting next to, I think some of the members of U of A student media from UATV and whatnot, I think one of the writers from the Daily Wildcat, and we were watching the game up on the big screen, because it made no sense to watch it in front of you because you couldn't get a sense of what was going on.
It's been 30 years since the last Final Four was held in the basketball arena.
Right.
97 was the first year, and 96 was the last time. That was at the Meadowlands, the old Meadowlands Arena. So it's been 30 years, Dragon Ball, where fans do not go to the Final Four to watch the Final Four. Fans go there to say, I was at the Final Four. That's it. Clearly it's been that way for a long time. I don't like the deadness of the crowd. I mean, college basketball arenas have so much energy and enthusiasm, and it's been that way for a long time. But as far as sightlines go, DK, I mean, you're going to pack, that many people into an arena built to watch something on a 100-yard field, and then put all those stands. I'm sure there are some decent seats down there on the field, like those field stand seats. I'm sure you could really see the court pretty well. But again, 96 was the last time they had it in a dedicated basketball arena. As the most money they can print, the most seats they can sell, the most concessions, that's what it's all about.
Not to mention how much money they can get, because, again, these tickets are not going to be cheap for anybody, even when you're going into the higher bowl areas of these football stadiums to watch a basketball game. It's something similar to, like, trying to watch something, you're watching a horse race and you're sitting on the 6th level, high up, and you're just not seeing the whole show for what it really is. And, hey, I get it. It's a business, and it's going to need to be presented as such. I mean, that's why we had the chain smokers as the in-between game entertainment. That being said, one of the first concerns I had watching that was, okay, how good is the air system that they're going to get the smoke out of all the fireworks that they launched at that mid-game entertainment spot? Because I know for me, we're talking about the sight lines, about how far away the stadium is, depth perception, all that. If it's hazy, that's going to make it even worse, because then you're going to have to blink out the smoke in your eye because of all the fireworks that went off before the game tipped off.
What was the, and again, I wasn't really, I was not out there for the first game because obviously we were doing the pregame show, and then I went into the Illini locker room to talk to Kyle and Boswell. So I was not out there. I remember, though, they made an announcement for, like, people that were sitting in the media that was sitting in the part of the building where I was, which was kind of it was down in the quote end zone section down by the Michigan bench. They told all those people that they should probably move from those seats during the concert, because there was going to be a lot of pyrotechnics and lights, flashing lights, and that kind of thing. So I was not out there for any of it. Obviously, there were a lot of people complaining about the length of the show. But, I mean, the Wildcats game was scheduled to tip off at 5:49. It didn't tip off to 6:19. So I'm interested to hear just kind of what it was with the show, because I didn't see it. I haven't gone back and watched it. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. I just heard a lot of people complaining about the length of it.
You know how bands are. Like, you hear some cheers, and then there's an ego involved. It's like, this is all about me. Let's do an encore. Let's play 6 songs here and make sure we get the money's the fans get their money's worth, because that's how a general concert goes. I just think it's all set up for, it's the entertainment side is always going to be there, and it's going to increase as time goes on, because, DK, I mean, you talk about an NFL football stadium and packing so many fans in, but as Dragon Ball pointed out, those upper concourse seats, that's take a mortgage out on your house to get those seats kind of prices. Mm-hmm. Right. And so you got to give those fans their money's worth, all the extracurriculars going on around the stadium. That's the idea. The NCAA putting this on with all these, things around the Final Four. And as a purist and a basketball fan, I would love to give the student athletes the best opportunity to play the best basketball possible, not on some kind of computer screen, not on some elevated court that might not have the best sight lines, for the players, but because there's people who will, it's supply and demand. Because there's people, Dragon Ball, who will fly out to Indianapolis and will buy binoculars and will sit in those seats to see the Chainsmokers concert. That's why they do it.
And not only that, but you also want to make sure that the playing surface that the players are going to be on, whether it be hardwood or the plexiglass, whatever it might be, you don't want it to have a bunch of scuffed high heel indents, because you have a bunch of people in what is basically can be equated to the pit at the Chainsmokers little song and dance that they had, which I'm going to be honest, if there's a band that needs a quote-unquote pit area, it's not the Chainsmokers. And I certainly don't think that the guy needs to be standing on top of his table over the DJ equipment he had. I remember I had more panic in that moment than I did with any of the fireworks going on. I'm thinking, if he steps on the tech, I mean, who knows what happens at that point. But, again, everything's entertainment. Everything's about trying to sell it out to somebody who's willing to pay and get that little bit of extra attention or that little bit of extra excitement. And in the end, we're there to watch basketball. Let's just watch basketball and enjoy it for what it is. And there's a lot of good basketball to be played in the Final Four. So let's just get to the games. That's what I was thinking the whole time I was watching that.
Yeah, I guess I don't like when once this Wildcat season ends, I generally tune out. I might watch some of the championship game, but not a whole lot. But was this new? I mean, I'm sure they'd had concerts before.
Oh,
at
I'm
these
sure.
events. I don't remember. I don't remember a whole lot of talk about the shows in the past or whatnot. And again, I'm not a huge fan of the Chainsmokers, but there are a few of their songs that that I can get down with. For sure. So it was an interesting, obviously, choice to have. I just thought that there were a lot of people that were complaining about the length of it and whatnot. So, and then, of course, the Wildcats went out and looked like they were chain smoking for part of that game and in losing 91-73 to the Michigan Wolverines. All right, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the name beginning on the program. Dragon Ball, what were your top takeaways from the loss to the Wolverines?
The main thing was that the one thing that the other thing you can't teach in basketball outside of height is length. And the one thing that Michigan was able to utilize is they really, in essence, just put their arms out and were able to keep Arizona's bigs off of the glass and keep them from getting those defensive rebounds. Never mind the offensive rebounds. It's the defensive rebounds for Arizona that had really been something that they had been able to do to get out on that fast break, to get the guards involved, and to really kind of put the other team on their heels. Michigan was just able to go ahead and control that part of the glass, and they had a lot of extra opportunities. Ademara really, you see exactly what he is capable of in a different kind of offense. Against the Cats and UCLA, he was really, in essence, he was a guy that was there for verticality. Then all of a sudden you put him in Michigan, the guy's got 20 points and got all these offensive rebounds. It shows what happens with a different mindset from a coach. And the Cats just really didn't have a way to go and keep Michigan off the boards. And that's, in the end, sadly, that's what keeps them from playing in the national championship game tonight.
Yeah, it was interesting because kind of the first few minutes of that game, Wildcats fell down 10-1. I thought Tommy made a statement after the game where he said it felt like we had some rebounds, some defense rebounds there that we just couldn't grab in that ball game, and that's where, again, teams that can get to those boards out at the offensive end, and when you've got that kind of height with Ademar, and he was able to get some putbacks, and then there was Elliot Kadau, who started the game not shooting the ball as well, but a lot of his misses were ending up in the hands of some of his bigs down low. And we talked about that was something that the Wildcats, played with a lot. Get the ball to the rim, and if you don't make the shot, you got guys like Toby Awaka, Motias Krivas, who a lot of times can clean that up and keep us effective at the offensive end, and that was what worked for Michigan in that game.
Back to Ademar real quick. The thing is, he played 8 minutes a game as a freshman and 12 minutes a game as a sophomore, and that's because he was behind Adem Bona, who was an All-American center. He really progressed. I think that the problem is Mick Cronin's got that old school, I'm going to get a freshman who's not ready. I'm going to put work in and yell at him a whole lot behind the scenes. And then when he's a sophomore, maybe he's going to be a little bit better, but he's not ready still. He's only going to be ready when he's a junior and senior. So this is yet again one of those situations where, 2 years on campus at UCLA, I guarantee you Ademara would have been a successful player under UCLA's system this year. They were prepping him. He only started, I think, a handful, 5 games at UCLA. But he's perfect for that system, mostly because of the guards, because the guards really do a great job looking for those rollers and what they're trying to do with those high ball screens. It's all action going towards the rim, and you saw how effective that was. But I think the biggest issue, obviously, with him was he just didn't miss last night. That's not what he's known for. No. He's the kind of guy who takes 6 to 8 field goals per game. But when you've got it going like that, and especially on those rolls and really, really, nifty pocket passing to get a lot of those balls to him, he had it going 11 for 14 from the field, and that was the biggest difference in the game because he stayed in the game. He plays 19 minutes a game. He played 33 minutes in that game, and he was successful the whole time.
All right, let's get a break in here. It's been an incredible weekend here, just from the standpoint, this is the first time they've had every championship in men's basketball in one city. Division I, Division II, Division III, and last night the NIT with Auburn rallying from ahead and then behind to beat Tulsa to claim that title. We're going to chat with Dan Goliath. He is with the Indiana Sports Corporation, and he is one of the guys that has helped put together this fabulous basketball weekend. That'll be next. It's DK on the Sports Tip. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives. She's got your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz & Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions at Tucson Boulevard and Drexel. Alvernon and River slowing there mostly on westbound River at Alvernon. La Cañada and Lambert Lane slowing at that intersection. 58 the overnight lows, sunny, 87 tomorrow and 82 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Brake Masters.
You're close to your journey's end. You're winning half the battle, and then it happens. A rattle. You got this. Just head on over to any Brake Masters stop sign. Download coupons and schedule an appointment from your smartphone.
Brake Masters. We give you an honest break.
The jungle has moved to afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
It's the most unpredictable tournament in sports, and the one place to watch it is at Roadies, with big screens everywhere. Feel every upset, every buzzer beater, every bracket buster, with lunch specials 11 to 2 and happy hour 3 to 6 Monday through Friday. Come watch all the action at Roadies, because watching it at home isn't even close. Get here early, stay all day. Roadies on the corner of Grant and Swan.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
Morning begins in the Rincon foothills. Rocking K, a master planned community and place to call home, offering distinct neighborhoods designed to fit your lifestyle. Explore the outdoors, walk the trails, visit Saguaro National Park. Enjoy community parks and make new friends at Rocking K resident events. Walk to Vail School District's newest campus in Rocking K, Saguaro Creek. 17 model homes, 6 quality builders, move-in ready homes available from the 300s. Rocking K, designed by nature. A community by design.
It's Truck Month at O'Reilly Chevrolet, and supplier pricing is going on right now. That means huge savings on some of our most popular vehicles. Get up to $12,475 off the 2026 Silverado LD, up to $7,500 off the 2025 Blazer EV, and up to $2,500 off the 2026 Traverse. Truck Month is happening now, so don't miss out. Find us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or go to O'Reilly.com. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Coach, Tommy Lloyd here with the Right Way team.
Great news. Free furnace season has been extended through the end of March. Have you been thinking about replacing your heating and cooling system this year? To spark business, we're giving away an 80% gas furnace or a heat pump air handler with the purchase of a new air conditioning system.
And we're offering up to 60 months no interest financing, manufacturer and energy efficiency rebates, and 10-year parts and labor warranty.
Call or text 520-200-2422 to book your free estimate today or visit rightwayac.com.
If it's worth doing, do it the right way.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you
Dan's
want.
already.
A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, we are in the Indiana Convention Center here where we are getting set for the final night of the Final Four weekend. It is the national championship game tonight, and it's not the only national championship game that has been played here in this city this weekend. Divisions 2-3 crowned their champs yesterday, as well as the NIT. Dan Goliad is with the Indiana Sports Corps. He is another fabulous person from Northeast Ohio running things. We had Brian Bush, the voice of the Wolverines, who was a Cleveland kid on the show the other day. Of course, y'all know I'm from Cleveland, and so is Dan as well, out here helping to put together these fabulous events here in Indianapolis, former student athlete himself. Dan, appreciate you taking some time to join us on the show today. So whose idea was it? How long had this been in the works to try to get all the national championships in one place?
Yeah, hey, DK, thanks for having me on. You know Northeast Ohio runs everything, man, so I appreciate the time.
Absolutely.
You know, we put in this bid for the Final Four for this year back in 2018, and that was a traditional bid to put in for the event for just the Division I men's Final Four. But over the years, working with the NCAA, and I think at our history of being a host city here in Indianapolis, we said we wanted to do something different. That's kind of our calling card. It's something that we try to do all the time. So what's doing something different? Hosting Division II, Division III, that's been done before, but also the last couple of years we've hosted the NIT out at Hinkle Fieldhouse. So we work with our partners here in the city and with the NCAA to do something different. And tonight will be our fourth champion crowned, as you said, in the same city, and it's never been done before.
All right, so how much of an undertaking was this? I mean, you mentioned you guys do a lot of things here. You host the Big 12 basketball, Big 10 basketball tournament. You host the Big 10 football game. Championship is here every year. Was this more of an undertaking to bring all of these different entities together?
You know, I think it was a little bit just to coordinate between Gamebridge Fieldhouse hosting those three championship games. And by the way, fantastic games last night. I mean, if you didn't check them out, fantastic games. And working with our friends over at Hinkle Fieldhouse and Lucas Oil Stadium. But that's what makes it special. Like, the partners that we have here, like, we really understand that big-time sporting events, big-time conventions really lift up the city. So it wasn't really much of an ask. It was different and new, and that's what we love to do here in the city. But the partnerships that we've made to try to put on these events continues to work. So working with hotels and restaurants and doing all these things is kind of the norm. But, yeah, this has been we've been working on this one for over 2 years now, and that's what's cool about the men's Final Four. We've been going to the past two Final Fours to see how it's been done and how we can do it in an indie spin. And in Phoenix, you all just hosted the 26 women's Final Four.
Right.
We had a contingent out there because we're hosting that in 2028, also in Lucas Oil Stadium. So these events are years in the making.
We're chatting with Dan Goliad. He is with Indiana Sports Corps, and they have been putting on a fabulous basketball weekend here for basketball fans of all the levels. He mentioned some of the games yesterday. Mary Washington winning the Division III championship on a last-second putback. I was hanging out with a bunch of their lacrosse guys who had played the game over the weekend and then drove all the way from Maryland to come here and be a part and support their basketball teams. Is it better even for the city, though, that there were two Big Ten teams here? And obviously, Champaign, I mean, it was only, 3 hours away, so that was a huge boon to get in Illinois here because they just brought over a slew of people.
Yeah, I mean, if you were in town here on Friday, it was orange everywhere that you could see. Yeah. They definitely took over on Friday. But no, I think the four teams that we got for the Division I were phenomenal for us. Like you said, two Big Ten teams. We feel like we're right in the middle of Big Ten country here in Indianapolis, having hosted Big Ten football championship, like you said, since 2011. No one else has ever hosted that game because we feel like we're really driving distance. Maybe not since the West Coast teams have been added to the Big Ten, and we won't get into conference realignment right now. But those, that traditional Big Ten, right in the middle of that. But also like two blue bloods as well. So it's not just about Illinois and Michigan, but like really strong brands from a college basketball side with Arizona and UConn as well. So we we felt very fortunate. We saw that draw, and we watched the games along with everyone else. You don't know what you're going to get. So we were watching that along with everyone else, and we felt really good about those fan bases just being really strong, and we've seen that throughout the streets of Indianapolis.
Dan Galide is our guest, Indiana Sports Corps. Dan, you mentioned kind of doing this and putting an Indiana spin on it. I would imagine that at most Final Fours, there's a fan fest like what you had here, very similar to the Super Bowl fan fest that we see in major events like this. I know that there was a music fest here, 3 different days, 3 different names, a bunch of different acts were coming in here. Is that something also that happens traditionally at a Final Four? And what were this is only the second one I've ever been to. And then what were some of the other things maybe that were unique to Indiana that we have this weekend, other than the fact that you guys had the games from all the different levels?
Yeah, so like Fan Fest in the Convention Center, that's pretty normal. Music Fest, 3 straight nights of free concerts, that's pretty normal. Tip-off tailgate, that's pretty normal. What I will say that is unique to Indianapolis is, first of all, I don't know if you saw the giant bracket on one of our hotels, the JW Marriott. That bracket is 12 basketball courts long and gets continuously updated throughout the tournament. So that's totally unique. But also what I would say about it, and you've experienced it, and folks have experienced it if they've been to Indianapolis, everything is very walkable. So all those 3 things I just talked about, Music Fest, Fans Fest, and Tip-Off Tailgate, that's all within a 1-mile walking radius of Lucas Oil Stadium and even Gainbridge Fieldhouse. And it's all very connected by the roads and things like that. So we really tried to emphasize that. And we've done things throughout the streets to highlight local artists and musicians through a program that we're calling Swish, because we knew it was going to be a walkable Final Four. So we wanted to put our unique personalities on that throughout the streets as people were walking from Music Fest to go down to Tip-Off Tailgate on Georgia Street, which is rocking right now, and things like that. So we definitely tried to put that unique spin on it. I mean, this is our 9th men's Final Four, and I also think that the city has grown. Our first one was in 1980. Now we're here in 2026, and the city has grown along with the tournament as well the same way.
Dan, what other things do you guys do outside of this event? Do you work directly with, I would imagine you work directly with the Big 12 championships that are held here. Do you guys do stuff with Indy 500 as well? What's kind of the overall aspect of Indiana Sports Corps?
Yeah, so we are the first ever sports commission ever created. We were created in 1979. Our first event was the 1980 men's Final Four. And we worked on several different events since then. We did the Super Bowl back in 2012. We've worked with the Big Ten a bunch on not only the football championship game, but also men's and women's basketball tournaments over at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. We just did the U.S. Olympic swimming trials at Lucas Oil Stadium, where we were the first ones to ever put a pool inside of Lucas Oil Stadium. We've hosted. Yeah, that was huge. That was really cool. 9 straight nights of activations downtown. We're also doing that again in 2028. We just started a partnership with WWE. We hosted Royal Rumble for the first time, so we'll be doing a future SummerSlam and WrestleMania as well. I'm a big WWE fan, so I have to throw that one out there. And we're not done with Final Fours. We got a women's Final Four in 28 and also a men's Final Four in 29. We've hosted the Combine since its inception here in Indianapolis as well. So a lot of those rights holders, as we call them, like NFL. We've also worked and done NBA All-Star Game and WNBA All-Star Game. We worked alongside really our friends over at Pacer Sports and Entertainment to do those. So lots of big things have been happening in the city, and we hosted a CFP National Championship in 21 as well. So lots of things and lots of partners. And it's really just puts a spotlight and also brings a lot of economic impact and tourists into the city.
Do you guys you mentioned Pacers, do you guys work closely with the Fever as well? And how's the dynamic of having Caitlin Clark here as an athlete in this city kind of changed sports here locally?
Yeah, I think that has been, a big boom for us, and women's sports in general has been a big boom for us as well in the city. And it's not just Caitlin Clark, and she's the biggest catalyst of it all. I mean, she's top 3 most famous athletes probably in the world right now. But she's a huge catalyst for that. But we've been working really hard to really try to make Indianapolis a real hub for women's sports and become the global epicenter by working on a lot of different initiatives. With the Fever, we have a pro volleyball team here in Fishers, which is a suburb here. So we're really trying to make this a place where women's sports can really thrive in a lot of different ways. But the Fever season, she was hurt a little bit last year, but I mean, just incredible. She's selling out all not just the home games, but the road games as well. So just to have that spotlight on the city as well, we're building a brand new practice and performance center here downtown just for the Fever. So we've worked really hard. The Pacers were in the NBA Finals last year, so Pacers Sports and Entertainment did a lot of that, but we really supported any of those efforts that go into those things. So it's been really fun to see. But yeah, having Caitlin Clark in the city to just be a driver of a lot of things has been great.
Now, Dan, you have a Pac-12 background. You used to work with UCLA baseball back earlier in your career. Did you ever get a chance to happen into Tucson with the Bruins?
Oh, man, I think we got our butts beat back in, I believe that was 2017. I love High Corbett Stadium, fantastic. I mean, incredible venue there. But, yeah, I was with UCLA baseball for a couple of years, UCLA men's soccer, worked with the men's basketball team as well. But loved my time out there at UCLA. Loved going all to the former Pac-12 schools and things like that. Tucson, I loved going out there to Tucson. I thought it was always phenomenal. Place to be, great town, a wonderful school, all those things. But yeah, I think we had a rough series the first time I was there because very quality baseball program. I will say the Bruins having a pretty darn good year on the college baseball side this year, #1 team in the country. But yeah.
There you go. You have a good seat for the game tonight?
I don't know where I'm going to be tonight. We were kind of running around. I mean, it's going to be a packed stadium in there. It's really exciting. It's great for the city to have everything going on and really bring all the tourism in here. All the hotels have been sold out. The streets have been filled. So it's been really great. I'm just looking forward to a great game. My bracket's been busted for a while. I had Arizona win, so my heart was broken during that game. Along with every other listener here on here. So I feel everyone's paying on that one, but I have no idea who's going to win this one. But all I know, it's going to be great for the city. And it's going to be a great game.
And did you mention that we're back here again in 3 years?
Back here again in 3 years in 2029. So we're really excited about that. I got to do a little bit of research because we hosted in 2021 the Bubble March Madness when every single game was hosted here. We're doing 26. And someone asked me today, I was just like, has any other host city ever done the men's Final Four 3 times over a decade?
Right.
And I was just like, that's a really good question. I don't know the answer to that. I'm going to have to do a little bit of research. I'm going to be hard pressed to say that anyone else has done that, but we're really looking forward to that. We're looking forward to the women's Final Four in 28. That will be in Lucas Oil Stadium, and it's not normally held in a NFL stadium. So we're really excited to open up that venue with the rise of that. With the rise of women's basketball in general. So, yeah, lots of things happening in the next couple of years. Hope all the fans come out. I really do think, Indianapolis puts on the best show, one of the best shows from a host city standpoint. Try to be as welcoming as possible. Want everyone to spend time here. We got over 2,000 volunteers out here helping out. It's been Easter weekend, and they don't hesitate. They come out because they really want to support the event and make Indianapolis shine. I hope every Arizona fan saw that over this weekend.
You mentioned the COVID playoffs in 2021. I don't know if you heard what Tommy Lloyd, our basketball coach at Arizona, said. He said there may or may not have been a coaches' lounge where the coaches would go to congregate afterward, and he categorized it as it was really weird because it was almost like a team got voted off the island because they would lose, and then the next night that you get to know a coach, and the next night that coach wouldn't be there.
2021 was wild times, man. It was crazy. And that was a cool one, too. We actually used our minor league baseball field here, our AAA field, and it's just like it wasn't even a practice yard. It was like a play yard out there for the guys and everyone just to go outside, because we didn't want them to just roam around the streets like they can and do things. But, we used that baseball field because it is pretty much connected to all the hotels and the convention center and things like that. So the guys could just get some fresh air because they were just going from the hotel room, walk into the convention center for practice, and either walk into the Lucas Oil Stadium for games or being bused straight into one of the different facilities. So that was a huge effort on the whole city's part to do all that, from the testing and the management. We like to say we were running laundry almost 24/7 for 3 straight weeks, guys, because they couldn't do their own laundry. They couldn't go anywhere.
Right.
So we were running 2 truckloads full of washers and dryers, and we had a board member really oversee that process. So the whole city came together for that 2021 one.
Hey, Dan, we appreciate the hospitality you guys have laid out here this weekend. Sad we're not playing tonight, but it's been a fun weekend to be a part of this here in Indianapolis, and we'll look forward to the ladies here in 2 years and the fellows back here again in 3. Dan, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
Dan Goliath, Indiana Sports Corps, played college baseball at Oakland of Michigan, Trey Thompson's school, before he transferred to play basketball at U of A. We did some work out with the UCLA Bruins baseball program, and now has been back here in Indiana as a part of the Indiana Sports Corps as well for a number of years. I also believe he worked at the Horizon League for a number of years as well. So Dan doing great work within the college athletics realm. DK on the sports tip, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Much more coming up for you straight ahead. We're going to talk some U of A basketball, what happened here Saturday night. Saul Bookman will join us in the 4 o'clock hour from PHNX. We'll get Saul's thoughts. He was here, and he is now headed back. I don't know. I've not been to the arena today, and I won't get there until after the game starts, because it'll start about 10 minutes before we wrap things up here from the Indiana Convention Center. So I don't know how many members of the U of A media are still remaining here, but it was a pretty good contingent of folks that came out. All 3 of the TV stations, several of the TV stations from Phoenix. Well, we had Lena Washington on from 12 News. Mark McClune from AZ Family was down here as well this weekend. I thought I might have seen Paul Calvisi here as a part. We didn't talk about this on Saturday, but they had the Naismith Hall of Fame inductions, and we'll get to that as well coming up a little bit later, because that had a very Arizona slant to it this weekend. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5. She's got your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions Fairview and Prince Road, Tucson Boulevard and Drexel. Collision that occurred Alvernon and River Road. 2 wrecks in Oro Valley, La Cañada and Lambert Lane. Collision occurred at the intersection. There's some slowing. Then a second collision on Lambert Lane west of La Cañada. 58 the overnight low, sunny, 87 tomorrow, and 82 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. At some point, body pain may creep in and become your reality that day. But Aleve is here to keep you moving. 1 pill gives you up to 12 hours of body pain relief. So don't let pain hold you back. Try Aleve today. Use as directed.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do. With press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play.
It is over. Cats have won it.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez at Meridian Wealth Management. And one of the hardest things I witness is when someone passes and they hadn't updated their beneficiaries properly beforehand. We all experience change in our lives, marriage, divorce, kids, and we work very hard for what we have. Leaving your legacy exactly the way you desire is important. This is your reminder to review all of your beneficiary designations today and at least annually. Seek guidance if you need it. Call our office at 520-719-1433 for more information.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Are you planning a home renovation? Getting quotes on windows, doors, cabinets, countertops, or flooring? Before you commit, visit the Window Depot and make sure you're not overpaying. The Window Depot is your one-stop shop for top quality products at the lowest prices. We're locally owned and operated with no installers and no middlemen, so you save big. Perfect for DIYers, contractors, and homeowners. Visit a location near you or shop online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Tune in Friday, April 10th as Chip Vale and your Arizona Wildcats take on the TCU Horned Frogs. First pitch is scheduled for 4 p.m. and pregame, starting at 3:45 p.m. right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Congratulations, Coach Lloyd and the Arizona Wildcats on their drive to the Final Four. For nearly 6 decades as an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics, we've seen a long history of Wildcat teamwork and excellence. We know Arizona drivers need someone they can count on for their car's next championship drive. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care will be there with affordable tires and award-winning service at 14 area locations. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960. We're here to get you there.
So, what is it that scares you the most?
The blue trucks from Essential Pest Control, Doctor. They leave bugs belly up.
I use one of those national companies.
Thanks, Doc. Those guys don't scare me.
Spring is bug season. Go blue with Essential Pest Control. We'll eliminate those bugs, bees, and termites. Buy local and stop paying too much with those national providers. Essential Pest Control is a bug's worst nightmare.
I can't sleep at night.
Essential Pest Control. Call 866-3029. That's 866-3029. Or visit essentialpest.com.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
Swing into spring with $145,000 in cash and prizes only at Casino Del Sol. Every week, you could win up to $1,000 in free play and win an invitation to the grand finale on May 29th, where $20,000 in cash and prizes is up for grabs. Don't strike out. Stop by for your free daily entry ticket and get in on the action. Join us for drawings every Friday and Sunday at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., and 8 p.m. only at Casino Del Sol, an enterprise of the Pasquayaki tribe.
You know it, your neighbors know it, and let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be, but thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was, and even better. Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials, the right service, the right product, the right price.
Dreaming about a new kitchen, an RV, or a once-in-a-lifetime vacation? Turn your wish list into reality with a home equity line of credit from Hughes Federal Credit Union. Borrow between $10,000 and $250,000 and save with our limited-time offer to waive fees up to $975. With Hughes One Rate Guarantee, all our members get our same low rate, no matter your credit score. Your home takes you further. Visit hughesfcu.org/HELOC. Insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender. Certain restrictions apply.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Old Trapper, what's your beef? UConn beat Illinois 71-62 on Saturday night in the Final Four to advance to the national championship game tonight against Michigan. Tonight, UConn will have their chance to win their 7th national title since 1999. It would be Dan Hurley's 3rd in 4 years. UConn has a date with the Wolverines and possibly history. I'm Chris Black.
Furnished by IntelliBrands.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness, itchiness, or coldness? Then you need the new patented Legsercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural, drug-free way.
Using Legsercise made walking painless again.
Legsercise Pro's patented walking simulator propulsion technology moves your feet back and forth along its concave track, creating constant movement and flex at both the knee and ankle joints. It's like having a physical therapist right in your own home.
I have much less swelling and no more tingling.
Call right now and order your very own Legsercise Pro, the new proven automatic leg mover that soothes pain and naturally promotes healthy circulation. Call 800-555-1212. That's 800-555-1212. 800-555-1212 now.
These statements and products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
And we're coming to you live from the Indiana Convention Center here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Final night for us here, Final Four. And down to the last two. Connecticut looking for their 3rd championship in the last 4 years. And Michigan looking for their 1st championship since, 1986? I think it was when Steve Fisher and that group won it all. Michigan basketball back after a long hiatus and just
they've been, I think, to the final 7 times since then, though. Because remember, like the Fab Five went twice, right?
Yeah, Fab Five went twice, and then there was the group that just was there maybe about 10 years ago or so. Which I always found it funny. They always bring back the Fab Five to go ahead and do like these alternate sportscasts and everything else like that. Where's Glenn Rice's love for winning the national championship at Michigan?
Well, that's what Rose said. Yeah, I mean, Rose himself was asked about this team. And is this the best Michigan team ever? And he said no. And you would expect him to say his team. He would expect him to say Fab Five. No, he said it was that Glenn Rice team. Yeah. Terry Mills was on that team. There were 8 NBA players on that team. Mm-hmm. You know who's not happy about the game tonight, DK?
Who's that?
The fan bases and everybody else on the East Coast. Because the game starts at 9 p.m. on the East Coast.
9 p.m.,
9 p.m. on the East Coast for 2 East Coast teams. It's crazy.
It is. It's nuts. But again, I think that's it. Has I always traditionally remember it starting sometime after, right around 6 o'clock our time in Arizona. So yeah, I mean it is late, no question about that. We got out of there. I mean, obviously we went with our show. We were in the same situation Saturday night. I don't think we got on the air till after midnight. We were just. I think we got on the air right after midnight.
Should we tell listeners who maybe weren't here with us about you getting kicked out of the building and doing the last 3 segments on the phone?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and again, it's like they send out the same information today. They said that you have 3 hours till the last press conference is over. Which, if they had held to that, that would have at least given us to around 12:25. But the guy was like, no, you got to be out of here by midnight. And I'm like, well, that's not what y'all said at the beginning. Y'all said 3 hours after the last press conference ended, and that's what they said again tonight. And tonight's going to be even later just because, there's going to be a bunch of stuff happening out on the court before the before they actually even get back to the conference room to do the second press conference, because the champions will be out on the court cutting down 2 nets and pomp and circumstance and one shining moment and all of that. And then by the time they get back there, so, I mean, I don't know. I'm going – the plan was obviously if to have Arizona in this game, to get on the road once we were done at 3 in the morning to get to Cincinnati for the 7 a.m. flight. So I don't know. I probably will still hang out here for a little while and then head down the road to Cincinnati to hop the morning flight and get back to the desert.
It's so tough. I mean, like, we're journalists. I mean, you're a journalist. We're just idiots. But the idea is, like, you're supposed to be impartial, but you're there to cover the Arizona Wildcats. Yeah. But it's, I mean, DK, your excuse to go to a Final Four is because the Arizona Wildcats are involved.
Yeah.
Because that's your job. You're the host of the pre- and post-game of Arizona Wildcats men's basketball coverage. So you're there, and it's like there's a downer side to it that Arizona's not playing tonight. Yeah. But, of course, you got to stick around, and you got to see the confetti fall, and you got to see Dan Hurley get a technical. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
520-848-12. So who do you have tonight? Who do you want to win this game tonight, J-Dub? I know that you have no love for UConn.
Is anybody rooting for Connecticut? I mean,
no. No love for Connecticut. I'm from Ohio. I have no love for Michigan.
We all like dynasties. Like, the thing about Americans is we really like rooting for those dominant situations. Everybody that wasn't a Cavs fan was a semi-Bulls fan during that era where Jordan and those guys, because they were just playing such pretty basketball, and it was just, they were so dominant. I mean, all of the periods and eras in sports where one team has risen above the rest for a consistent period of time. Here's how I look at it. It depends on how they got to the dynastic stage. So, like, the Spurs are a good example, right? Like, homegrown, they all worked together. It was the same core for a long period of time. They won those 5 championships in a 11-year period. But if the Dodgers win the World Series this year, next year, and the year after that, right, with like a salary that's 5 times the average in baseball, it's just different. It's just what Dan Hurley's doing up there in Stores is outrageous. I mean, we saw Florida win 2 in a row, of course, but that was the same core nucleus for both of those championship teams. Right. They brought back Horford and all those guys. So it's just a completely different world and landscape in NIL. So for Dan Hurley to be doing this, go look at the names on the first championship 3 years ago, the championship 2 years ago, and the names on this year's team. It's not the same guys. So there's 1 or 2 guys who are a holdover from both those championship teams. So it's just so impressive what he's doing. And in a college basketball landscape where no West Coast team has won in X number of years, no Big Ten team has won in X number of years. Like, I'm just of the opinion that Dan Hurley has enough trophies. So I would like to anybody else other than the team that's won 2 out of the last 3 national championships.
Everybody loves a dynasty up until the point where it gets tiring talking about them. Right. And I like to describe it as everyone remembers where they were when the show 24 took over the television screens, and everyone was like, I got to know what's happening in the next hour of Jack Bauer's adventure. And then once you got to season 3, it's like, okay, how much can happen to this guy in one day? It's starting to get a little bit exhausting. And that, I feel, is the exact mental capacity that we have towards UConn and their dynastic feelings. It's just, okay, we get it, Mr. Hurley. We get it. You like to challenge people. You like to go ahead and push the envelope. It's getting kind of boring just seeing you here every single other year.
And on that note, like, I don't have anything personally against Coach Dan Hurley. And if this was Kelvin Sampson we were talking about winning 3 and 4, I might have a different opinion. Yeah. Right. I just think there's something very abrasive about the way that Coach Hurley does his thing, very unapologetic and very successful. I mean, obviously, it'll be interesting. We can talk X's and O's, but that group, DK, runs the most regimented set-based offense of any team in America. So there's a good reason why they've been so successful. And then you just look at the long list of great players that they've had play there. So yeah, I mean, they're just a machine right now, just rolling around. And the other thing, DK, is would we care as much about the men's UConn dynasty the last 4 years if UConn women hadn't won 20 out of the last 25 titles? Right? I mean, that's a part of it too.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We'll get into the dynamics of what happened to the Wildcats Saturday night. Thoroughly dominated, dug themselves a 10-1 hole right off the gate, even though Yaxel Lindenborg picked up a couple of quick fouls, and you thought, okay, we can get him out of the game. Wildcats might have something going here, but it just never transpired. Made a little bit of a run that got them back to within 5 in that first half. Before you knew it, though, that lead was right back up to 14, and then Michigan just blew the doors off in the second half on their way to a 91-73 victory. Saul Bookman from PHNX will join us in the 4 o'clock hour. We'll talk to him, get his thoughts on what he saw here and the way this season ended. Want to hear from you as well, 520-848-1290. Call us, text us at that number. Get in on the program. Want to hear your thoughts on the Wildcats and how you felt about this fabulous year, getting back to the Final Four for the first time in 25 years. Dragon Ball's here. A lot happening in sports here in Southern Arizona, as well as sports around the world.
Well, the Arizona men's basketball season, as you've heard us talk about, it came to an end Saturday against Michigan. The Wolverines dominated the game from the opening tip to the final whistle. Cats came within 5 points at one point in the first half, but they could never shrink that lead further as their Final Four trip ends just short of playing for the national championship. And afterwards, Tommy Lloyd was asked about his final thoughts on the season this year.
Yeah, it'll probably take a little time, I knew we could do this year, and I thought we had a chance to win this 4-team tournament, but obviously Michigan had other thoughts. So, I'm sure we'll get back home and take a breath, but I know myself, no loss at the end of the season feels great, but I also think it can be a great learning tool. So, we're going to, take a breath, probably try to figure out what our roster looks like next year. And like I've always said, in this business as a coach, you got to be tough enough to take disappointment and show back up. And we're going to show back up, and and we're going to try to do this again, but see if we can do it a little bit better.
Again, Coach Lloyd also named this year's Naismith College Coach of the Year after a season where the Cats came away with both the regular and tournament titles of the Big 12 and the most wins in a single season in Arizona men's basketball history. And the Suns capped off their road trip with a win against the Bulls last night in another sloppy game, but finally puts a stop to the 2-game slump they had been stuck in going into that. The win, however, does not solidify their spot in the playoffs. They've yet to lock up the official play-in berth, as they are only still 3 games behind the Timberwolves, ahead with 4 games left to play. Next up for the Suns will be their final homestand of the season, with the first game set to be against the Rockets here tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And Michael Malone, the ex-NBA head coach that remembered for winning the NBA's World Championship with the Denver Nuggets, is now officially the head coach of North Carolina. Again, Michael Malone as the school's next head coach. Malone, again, the NBA champion for his time in Denver, won 510 games in 12 seasons as a head coach there in the NBA. And he will be going and inheriting a Tar Heel team seeking to rebound after having Hubert Davis fired 2 weeks ago. I'm Dragon Ball with the 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do.
Touchdown, Arizona.
With press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play, we bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz & Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions La Cañada and Lambert in Oro Valley wreck occurred at the intersection. Secondary collision on Lambert Lane west of La Cañada. Other wrecks, Fairview and Prince with eastbound slowing. Tucson Boulevard and Drexel, also earlier wreck at River Road and Alvernon. And for your weather, 58 the overnight low, sunny 87 tomorrow. Cloudy mostly and 82 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
Never wait to see your family doctor again. And My Doctor Now, you don't need to take time off work or even schedule ahead. Open 7 days a week. It's your family doctor. Available same day, every day, guaranteed. Go to My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
It's DK on the sports tip. Did you hear what we were talking about? The kids who actually have the money to go out there and play tennis. Why haven't we produced any of them? DK on the sports tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Are you planning a home renovation? Getting quotes on windows, doors, cabinets, countertops, or flooring? Before you commit, visit the Window Depot and make sure you're not overpaying. The Window Depot is your one-stop shop for top quality products at the lowest prices. We're locally owned and operated with no installers and no middlemen, so you save big. Perfect for DIYers, contractors, and homeowners. Visit a location near you or shop online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Morning begins in the Rincon Foothills. Rocking K, a master-planned community and place to call home, offering distinct neighborhoods designed to fit your lifestyle. Explore the outdoors, walk the trails, visit Saguaro National Park. Enjoy community parks and make new friends at Rocking K resident events. Walk to Vail School District's newest campus in Rocking K, Saguaro Creek. 17 model homes, 6 quality builders, move-in ready homes available from the 300s. Rocking K, designed by nature, a community by design.
Advantage Air Mechanical, the team you can trust. Call 792-9400.
When it comes to the comfort and indoor air quality of your home and office, Advantage Air Mechanical has you covered. Breathing healthy air and having reliable air conditioning is important. If you or someone you know is in need of air conditioning services or a new system installation, we're here to help. Advantage Air Mechanical, 792-9400, AZROC 214570.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a part of the University of Arizona Wildcats radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
Do you trust those in charge of your financial future? Trust is founded on 3 core principles: competence, honesty, and benevolence. Those making decisions about your financial future should always place your best interest ahead of their own. I'm Natalie Fernandez-Lee, and at Meridian Wealth Management, fostering trusted relationships with our clients is our top priority. Call us at 719-1433 or visit meridianwealthllc.com to learn more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
We bring you all the news and stories of your Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Wildcats Radio 1290 for the latest highlights and commentary. Your home for U of A athletics. Wildcats Radio 1290.
No, not the sink. Not now.
Plumbing issues can put your life on pause. But with anytime emergency scheduling,
UB Tucson, a Cumulus Media Station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
On the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
It is a mighty cold Midwest day to crown a basketball champion. Unfortunately, U of A won't be wearing that crown at the end of the night. Arizona not in the national final tonight. It'll be UConn and Michigan. That game scheduled to tip off here coming up. As a matter of fact, in about less than 2 hours now. I'm sure the gates, I think the doors opened right at 6 o'clock, so fans starting to stream in and stream by. It has been a really fun weekend of events. We had Dan Goliath from Indiana Sports Corps on in the last hour. And guys, I was last night was really the first time I had a chance to get out and kind of walk around and see downtown Indianapolis. And he's absolutely right. I finally got a chance. I walked over a few blocks and grabbed some dinner at a spot, and it was another block or two over from the Gamebridge Pavilion where the Pacers play. And so they had the Pacers game. Now they were on the road playing in my hometown against the Cavs last night. So I went into the place. They had the Pacers game on. They also had the NIT championship game on. I happened to sit next to a U of A grad who was there as well. He had come in. Now lives, I'm trying to remember where exactly he said that he lives in Denver now and made the trek over. He was staying for the championship game because his daughter is a University of Michigan grad. So some family dynamics going on there for him and his family. But he said that he grew up, he remembers growing up and going to games at the old Bear Down Gym, and he was kind of coming of age when Fred Snowden arrived, and he said the Kiddie Corps, he fell in love. That's when he fell in love with the U of A, was during that time. And then in college in the early 80s when Lute first got to town and was starting to build the juggernaut that we know is Arizona basketball today. So he had been in San Jose last weekend for the regional weekend, and a buddy of his said, hey, I got tickets to the Final Four, so he made the trek here to Indianapolis, and they had a chance to watch their Wildcats play here on Saturday night. Good to hear some of those stories from the folks that made it in here for this weekend to see the Wildcats. If you were here and are now back home, want to hear about your experience, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Your coach, Tommy Lloyd, before he got out of here yesterday, picked up a little bit more hardware. Naismith Coach of the Year, Tommy Lloyd. So that is his second Coach of the Year award for Tommy Lloyd in his 5 seasons as the boss here at the University of Arizona. Pretty impressive. Let's hear Tommy had a short speech. This event was over at the Gamebridge Pavilion or Field House yesterday in the late morning. Let's hear a little bit of what Tommy had to say in accepting his Naismith Coach of the Year award.
Obviously an incredible honor. Just so thankful for my team and for the opportunity and for my family. This coaching deal is tough, and you got to have some toughness and some grit to hang with it. And I always tell our people, like, because my media is on my ass, and you got to be tough enough to take the loss and get back up and learn from it and get your group going in the right direction. And I can't wait to do that. The only disappointing thing is you got to wait another year to do it. I mean, obviously, I wish we had another shot at Michigan. I think that's the type of team you have to play twice to get a good feel for. I mean, Dusty's done an unbelievable job, and you guys are gonna think it's crazy, but when they send this award, they're shipping it home. It's kind of crazy. I got Dusty's home address on it because he's deserving to be the coach of the year. I mean, he did an incredible job, and that's as good of a well-coached team as I've ever played against yesterday. And that's a tribute to him, and he's got a great chance to bring it home tomorrow. But again, thank you guys. It's an incredible honor. I mean, it's humbling. But you know what I got to do right now? I got to cut this short because when you lose in the tournament, it's amazing how your plane shrinks. All the luggage doesn't get home, and I got to get my ass to the airport right now. So, thank you guys.
Tommy Lloyd yesterday accepting the Naismith Coach of the Year award. That's actually his 5th national coaching award that he's won in his 5 seasons. Second this year. He's also the Sporting News Coach of the Year, as well as being the Big 12 Coach of the Year. Wildcats finished 36-3, and he has won 148 of the 184 games that he has coached since he got to town. Most wins by a coach ever in their first 5 seasons.
So I think preseason polling is a good indication of what people thought a team was going to be, right, to start the year. Do you know where Arizona was in the preseason poll?
I think they were like 14th or 15th.
13th.
Yeah.
Do you know where Michigan was?
Michigan, I would say, was maybe a little higher, 10th or 11th?
7th.
Okay.
Do you know where Nebraska was?
Not even in the top 25.
They didn't get a single vote.
Right.
Not only were they not in the top 25, literally, like the poll will always have 20 teams that got a vote, others receiving votes. So Fred Hoiberg was the AP National Coach of the Year, and I personally have no problem with that because of what I just said. I mean, Michigan was highly thought of. That was a top 10 team preseason. Arizona was right on the cusp of that. And obviously some of the other teams they've talked about, if you look at, what obviously UConn's done this season as well. You could even point to some of the teams that made late runs in the year to push themselves into the conversation for the. I mean, you even saw some Shire from Duke. I think, in fact, he might have finished second in the AP voting for Coach of the Year. But, yeah, there's no doubt what Coach Lloyd did. I think a lot of people knew that this would be a great nucleus and a great roster coming in. Didn't know. I mean, people thought that Braden Burries was going to be good from the start, Ko Pete was going to be, but nobody knew what Ivan Karchenkov was going to do for this team. No. So I'm not surprised that Arizona finished way above their preseason expectations, and not surprised that Coach Lloyd got that award.
Yeah, this whole season has been kind of what was Tommy going to do to follow up what he did last season? How are they going to make up for the loss of a pure dedicated shooter in Caleb Love? How are they going to shore up losing a first-round lottery-style prospect in Carter Bryant? And I would argue that in every single capacity, all those places got replaced with players that were better than from the year before. And even with guys like Tobe Awaka still staying on the roster, those guys were willing to take lesser roles for the sake of opening things up for the team as a whole. And that just shows you kind of what Tommy's whole mentality has been in regards to building the culture. And that's the best thing to see from this. Again, you can win a Coach of the Year award for winning a lot of games. You see a lot of coaches that have won a Naismith Coach of the Year award and then proceed to, have one more tournament appearance before they're eventually let go by their current program. It happens. But to see it be consistent that he is getting those results is the best thing to see from Tommy and the U of A program.
It's kind of shocking to see that Coach Olson never won this award.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is not an award that goes back to the 1920s. This started in the mid-'80s. So the first recipient of the Naismith Coach of the Year award was Bobby Knight at Indiana. That was 86-87. But yeah, Coach Olson did not win the award. Last year's winner was Rick Pitino with St. John's, Dan Hurley the year before, and then Jerome Tang 4 years ago with Kansas State.
And now he doesn't have a job, Jerome Tang.
That's what I mean.
That's how fleeting this whole thing can be. That's how fleeting this whole thing can really be.
My favorite in this is the second ever Naismith Award-winning coach.
Yeah.
That would be Larry Brown.
Wow.
Ooh.
And most people, yeah, exactly. In his time at Kansas, and most people think of him as the journeyman NBA head coach because what did he have, like 6 stops in the NBA? But
6 stops in the NBA, 4 stops in college. I mean, Larry was all over the place for a period of time.
Speaking of that, we'll get into a little bit later in the hour. We'll get into the fact that an NBA coach is the choice at North Carolina. Michael Malone, as you heard Dragon Ball's update at the top of the hour, is the new head coach, or expected to be named the new head coach at the University of North Carolina. He led the Denver Nuggets to that NBA title just a few seasons ago, and then it wasn't the next season, I think it was the season after that, he was let go because they weren't living up to expectations. So that's another story of how fleeting this whole thing can be a lot of times for these coaches. I think if I'm not mistaken, the Golden Knights won the Stanley Cup, 3 years ago, and they fired their coach this year.
Instead, they bring in John Tortorella. if we wanted to go
didn't he coach the Coyotes at one time?
If you wanted to have a whole segment on NHL news, I'll give you a whole segment on torts, but that's for another time.
Real quick, I think Coach Malone may be better for college because do you know why he was fired? Because too much rah-rah. Like over a 12-year period, there was some locker room issues where, the same message kind of falls flat. When you're talking to 18 to 22-year-olds, that message might be received better than when you're talking to 12-year veterans of the NBA who are all actually legitimately DK on their 5th mortgage. And they do have, a 20-bedroom mansion and all those other things. So I think Coach Malone, he was instrumental in Denver cutting down the nets and winning that NBA championship. Obviously, Joker being the forefront reason why. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Malone do well in college just because he's a very good X's and O's guy, and he's got a little bit of fire in him. If you ever hear him talk, he's definitely a motivating coach. And I just think that style, there aren't a lot of guys like that in the NBA. I think that locker room just got a little bit tired of that style.
And I understand his daughter plays for the volleyball team at North
Yeah,
Carolina.
she's a Tar Heel. She's a Tar Heel, so he's been spending a lot of time on campus there.
Interesting. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We'll get the thoughts of Saul Bookman coming up. Right now we get the third member of our program in. Cricket joins us. Cricket, your top takeaways from Arizona's loss to Michigan the other night. Did you watch the whole game, or did you tune out at some point?
I did watch the whole game. I wanted to tune out, but I just couldn't. I couldn't tear myself away.
And did you listen to it on the radio with Brian Jeffries as you said you were going to?
No, I actually did watch the play-by-play with the Fab Five.
Oh, you watched that?
Yes.
Okay. By choice, or you just happened on that channel?
That it just happened to be on, and it was a lot because they all talk at the same time.
Yep.
And I was like, I need Brian, but for some reason my phone was acting up, and I wanted to just watch it with Brian talking in the background, but that didn't work.
Well, those aren't play-by-play or analysts. Those are fans describing what they see.
Yeah. And so it was a lot talking over each other.
It was very podcast in somebody's spare room kind of quality, I would describe it. And
the best part about it was they're on these really uncomfortable chairs, and I was just thinking to myself, and they're shoulder to shoulder with each other, and I'm like, bro, these multimillionaires. I wonder how long it's been since they sat. Probably since they were in college at Michigan, since they sat like that. I figured they would get them lounge chairs and have them in some kind of comfortable setting, but that was not the case.
Not only that, but they're all over the height of 6 foot, and these are stools that look like you have to step up onto them at the bar. And I'm thinking they couldn't have gotten them just regular desk chairs or something.
Something
comfortable. A bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you got these 6'5" guys that are trying to not totally sit in it, but not totally leaning forward. It looked awkward. It looked awkward the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody go down and greet the team when they got back on Sunday?
I do not. No.
I was not.
I had some friends go down there. It looked like a good crowd. It looked like, the energy coming off the bus when they got back from winning the Elite Eight game, DK. I think that it's always great to show fan support after losses.
Oh, yeah.
I'll never forget the football stadium after they came back from the 88 Final Four and they had lost, but there must have been, 15,000 people there. It was just half of Tucson. not half, but a good part. Tucson's grown a lot.
At that point, right?
At that
Tucson's
time,
grown a lot since then. Not quite that much, but there's a lot of people down there. So you could see a lot of smiling faces and obviously a little bit more dejected energy coming off the bus. But you could tell once they made eye contact with a lot of those kids, especially who are out there, it was a great moment welcoming the team back.
All right, Cricket, let's go. We'll have you back at 5:12 to get your quote of the day. All right? Cricket will be back with us in the 5 o'clock hour. Right now, she's getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with traffic and weather. We're going to talk to Saul Bookman from PHNX next. He was here in Indy to see the Cats lose on Saturday night. Cricket.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Some slowing westbound Ajo at Mission, also busy travel on Alvernon at Grant, roadwork at the intersection. Collisions that are clearing Cardinal south of Bilby, Tucson Boulevard and Drexel, also La Cañada and Lambert Lane crash at the intersection, and another wreck on Lambert Lane west of La Cañada. 58 the overnight low, sunny, 87 tomorrow and 83 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Want a great way to boost your brand? Custom labels at Staples will help packages pop, shipments stand out, and takeout boxes really take off. Shop now through April 18th and save 30% on all custom labels. Staples, that was easy.
There's only one place to catch Brian Jeffries, the voice of your Arizona Wildcats.
Grabbed by Del Orso, who drives the baseline and slams it home. He did what?
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
In Tucson, Cool Willie's knows desert dust, dirt, and debris are the #1 AC killers when the heat hits. That's why our signature tune-up is the best way to get your system summer ready. Right now, we're offering a preseason AC reset, a deep internal clean where our technicians remove built-up dust, restore airflow, and prep your home before temperatures spike. First-time customers get their preseason AC reset for just $39, normally $129. Appointments fill fast before the first heat wave. Go to coolwillies.com and click Book Now.
I know we live in a swamp, but our appliances don't have to be as disgusting as this. We need to replace them before it's too late.
Trick, you gotta keep feeling happy, and I know just the place. Tucson Appliance.
Welcome to Tucson Appliance, where we have the best prices on an abundance of appliances.
If we get this one, they can deliver tomorrow. And in the morning, I'm making waffle.
That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
Now we can live happily ever after.
Only at Tucson Appliance,
where you are our priority.
I had everything that the world says that you need. A car, a place, stability. But I really didn't have anything. And because of addiction, I lost it all. At Gospel Rescue Mission, I found what was missing in my life, Jesus. And here, I'm actually learning how to live and be the mom that my son deserves.
Because of your support, Savannah and her son now have a new life. If you want to help, or if you know someone who needs help, go to grmtucson.com.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Why do I spend so much time educating our youth about financial wellness? I have seen the fire ignite inside of young adults when I show them how the power of compound investing can change their futures. This is Natalie Fernandez at Meridian Wealth Management, and I'm committed to affecting change with our youth. An idea for all of you listening today, gift a Roth IRA contribution for the holidays or birthdays for your kids and grandkids. Contact our office at 520-719-1433 for guidance and details. The change begins with us.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Broadway in Tucson presents the 2026-2027 season, featuring 6 blockbuster Tucson musicals, including Elf, The Outsiders, The Bodyguard, The Notebook, The Great Gatsby, and more. Add Disney's The Lion King to your package for the ultimate season. Secure your signature package today and get the best seats at the lowest prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and get your 2026-2027 season tickets today.
From work to errands to family life, your car takes a beating. At Recon Auto Detailing, we don't just protect it, we maintain it.
They installed my ceramic coating in shop, and now their mobile team keeps it looking brand new, right in my driveway.
Ceramic coatings, PPF, tint, all installed professionally at Recon Auto Detailing. And with our mobile detailing, we keep that fresh, protected look mile after mile. One-stop shop, zero hassle. That's Recon Auto Detailing, Ceramic Pro West, Tucson.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Spring is here and we've already experienced hot weather. Is your air conditioner ready for the long hot summer? For the month of April, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing will be offering a $99 home wellness plan for all new customers. This includes your spring maintenance, fall maintenance, and a plumbing maintenance. Call now 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturerockscooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Hey listener, welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it!
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
With UConn heading to another national championship tonight, their third in 4 years, Dan Hurley proved once again why he's the best coach in college basketball right now. The Huskies held Illinois to just 3 assists and 34% shooting from the field. Tonight, Hurley will try to become the only active coach with 3 championships, and he'll have to do it as a 6.5-point underdog against 1 seed Michigan. I'm Adam Abdallah.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood prediction markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood prediction markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. Ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, let's get to one of our Arizona insiders as we talk some Arizona Wildcats basketball. U of A falling in the national semifinals to the Michigan Wolverines. And one of the gentlemen that was out here to cover it was Saul Bookman. J-Dub, do we have an appropriate introduction for our guy? Saul Bookman.
Bear down, Wildcats fans. Wildcats Radio 1290 is proud to bring you all of the basketball insights from our Arizona insiders. Our Arizona insiders are brought to you by Modelo, brewed for full-time Cats fans. Modelo, an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics.
All right, Saul was apparently one of the lucky ones that got the heck up out of here after Saturday night's 18-point defeat to the Michigan Wolverines. He is back on the homestead on the desert side, joins us now. Saul, just your top takeaways from what you saw here on Saturday night.
Yeah, I think it was just a mixture of the moment might have been a little too big, especially to start off. Michigan just blitzkrieged Arizona right off the bat, and it just felt like Arizona could just never get a strong foothold. And I think because they were able to recover in so many games this year and adapt, and obviously they were 6-0 at the half when trailing, and able to bounce back in so many games. Maybe they felt like at some point they would be able to do that, but against a Michigan team that just was unrelenting, especially interior-wise, it just became problematic. And the recipe for success against Arizona was always going to be, can you shoot a high percentage from three? And because Michigan got a lot of wide open looks because Adai Mara was so, dominant inside, Arizona really just did not have an answer. That was the worst thing that could possibly happen, is a team being able to connect from the outside while also having an interior presence. And Michigan was probably the only team in the country that could present such an opportunity.
What was the biggest difference that you saw in Adai Mara from what we saw when he was at UCLA?
I mean, honestly, I just think that he has a lot more confidence right now, and he has a very good, shrewd point guard that's able to get him the ball in the right positions and really set the team up entirely, for success. And I think that's just really the clearest way I can put it. When you have a good, solid point guard, as we've seen, at just about every level, it can open up so many things for you. And the way that they were able to just really control the paint, because Adai Mara is, he's a vertical threat, and that's the one thing is, like, Krivas is a really good defender, but that length is really tough to defeat if you can't get that high to stop a shot from a 7'3" player with the wingspan of it feels like a 7'47". So it's pretty tough, and I think that's Michigan's just been able to really develop him and give him the confidence needed to dominate this level, and he sure did that the other night.
We're chatting with Saul Bookman from PHNX, covers the Wildcats. He was here in Indianapolis. I had said, Saul, that I thought one of my guys that I was really concerned about in that game was the kid off the bench, Trey McKinney, and that came to fruition. He had this one play, man, I thought was such a heady play. When he essentially what he did, I forget who was guarding him at the time. I think it might have been Yvonne. Yvonne was guarding him, and he literally just kind of pushed Yvonne down off the arc into the paint, and then allowed another one of his guys to pick him while he stepped back out and got a wide open look to knock down a three. I was like, man, these guys are really smart. Dusty Mays, and then the story obviously came out after the game that they were shooting in the big house to get used to the depth perception. That's a pretty smart coach there, Dusty May, and what it's fascinating what he's been able to do with two programs, including taking a mid-major to the Final Four, which who knows if we'll ever see that again in this new era.
Yeah, no. I mean, that Florida Atlantic run was definitely one for the ages. The big house thing, I think, is just overrated. I mean, I could say that, and then you see how Arizona shot the other night, and you're like, well, maybe there's something to it. But I just felt like, when you get wide open threes the way at the clip that Michigan was getting them, it's easy to make threes, and Arizona wasn't getting nearly the looks that Michigan was. Dusty May is definitely a good coach, and I'm not trying to take that away from him. But it just felt like once Michigan had the momentum and they started that game off, they were able to relax much quicker than Arizona was. And even when Arizona made that run, they kind of thwarted their own momentum. And I think a series of things started to work against them, and things that, listen, they've been a concern all year, but they've never come back to bite them in the butt. And in this game, the free throws and the three-point shooting really did, and especially the free throws when they cut the lead to 5. I forgot. I think it was Awaka went to the free throw line, missed 2, and then Yvonne got the rebound, and then he missed the front end of a 1-on-1, and then Michigan immediately goes on like a 9-0 run, and you just felt like at that moment, that's when the game just kind of got away from them, and they were never able to recover. I definitely felt like, man, they were down by, I think 16 at one point, cut it to 5, and you felt like, okay, they've settled down, they're back in this, they got their confidence back, and then Michigan just immediately put on a run. And you talked about me being able to get out of Indianapolis. I mean, midway through that second half, I was like, well, it does not look like this is going to happen, so let me go ahead and try and find this next flight out. And I was looking to get out the next morning. So, listen, I'm as real and as optimistic as they come when it comes to Arizona Wildcats basketball, but you gotta sometimes you got to keep it real with yourself and just understand that the Cards are just not going to go your way tonight.
That's funny. I interviewed two guys that said they booked their Final Four flights during the second half of the comeback against Purdue, and then people were booking their trips to get out of here during the second half of that loss to Michigan. Saul Bookman from PHNX is our guest. Before we get to what the future might look like, Saul, what do you think? What do you think about tonight's game? Do you think UConn has a shot to be able to knock down this Michigan juggernaut?
I mean, if you're going based off of what you saw the other night, I don't think there's a chance in hell that they can beat Michigan. But again, Michigan has had some tough times with other teams that have I don't even think as significant of an interior as Arizona does. They lost to Purdue. They've lost to other teams in the country before, but they've also looked so more dominant than anybody else this season. And we saw that the other night, and I just can't see a scenario where UConn is going to beat Michigan. But Dan Hurley's a really good coach. You got to give him credit, and he's going to scheme up something that's going to try and throw them off. But I think Dusty May is going to get the best of them tonight, and I think Michigan is definitely going to win the national championship.
So, what do you think this roster for Arizona looks like next year in terms of the guys potentially who could come back? Your Matías Krivases, your Ivan Garchinkovs, your Dwayne Aristodes. Do you think all of those guys are back? Do you think that Bryce James has a chance to play at this level and be a rotation player moving forward? What are your early thoughts on what the roster is going to look like?
Well, I think early on, I would say that Ivan and Krivas are probably the most likely to come back if they come back. I think Ivan still needs some development on the offensive side of the ball, shooting wise. He can score at the rim, and he's a very downhill player, so I like that. But I do think that portion of things needs to get a little bit of tweaking. And then Krivas, I think Krivas has got an absolute chance to come back, and I think he should, just because of his offensive ability to be able to develop and be a little bit more dominant down low in the paint offensively. Like, he should easily be a 14 to 18 point scorer next year. As far as Aristotle goes, I'm seeing the Twitter streets, and I'm seeing a bunch of things, and I heard some stuff behind the scenes, and it doesn't seem like it's likely that he'll come back, unfortunately. But you never know what those exit interviews are going to look like, and you never know what kind of decisions are going to be made. But I think his utilization was probably a little less than ideal after he came back from the illness. But who knows? And then, listen, I know everybody's out there hoping that Koa will take a second look or Braden Burries, but that's not happening. That's just not happening. Those guys are destined to go to the NBA, and they should. You can develop in the NBA just as much as you can develop, in college, and especially if you're going to be a lottery pick, which I think those two guys are on the border of being lottery picks. And, if everything goes right, they could be or could not be. We'll see where it goes on. And the future is going to be bright. I think this Tommy Lloyd regime has showed you that they can recruit at a high level. They can get the right kind of transfers and the right kind of guys in here. And I have the utmost confidence that they'll be able to do that.
Well, the offseason begins tomorrow for the men's side. It began today for the women's side. Over 1,000 players already in the transfer portal. Complete teams, including Arizona, Iowa State, Tennessee, completely gutted with 11-plus transfers or players leaving due to eligibility each. I mean, that's crazy. So when you think about those numbers, and I think we're seeing it more on the women's side than we are seeing the men's side, where teams are completely gutted like that. But to have almost entire teams have to be rebuilt every year on the women's side, I don't know if that's sustainable.
I mean, I know it's not. You can't sustain long-term success like that. In a program like Tennessee, for sure, you're looking at that just can't. That just can't be possible. And that's I don't even know how as a coach you're able to, kind of regroup and then retract. I understand with Becky Burke. She had to do her best to get a team together because she got hired kind of late in the cycle, and so those players, it is what it is. So I'm not so concerned about that because once she gets the right type of player in there or her type of player in there, she's able to. I have belief that she'll be able to develop those relationships. But this idea and this concept that the grass is always greener on the other side, or this idea that you can get more money at every single turn. At some point that's not going to be true, and we've seen about 40% of these transfers don't ever find a place to go again.
Yeah.
And so you got to be really careful about entering the transfer portal and listening to the people around you. That's why it's so important, and that is one thing that I will say about this Arizona squad and meeting some of their the people in their circles and behind the scenes is it just felt like you had a bunch of parents and advisors that had the kids' best interest in mind in terms of the men's side. And that's not the case with every single player and every single, support system. And you need that. And if there's players out there that are looking for something to really fall back on, you need a solid support system and people that really have your best interest in mind and will tell it to you like it is. And sometimes, hey, you just need to suck it up and go through it because said coach can develop players at a high ability, and you're not going to find that too many places. But not everybody's like that, and everybody transfers for their own reasons, and it's really unfortunate. Hopefully they can find some stability somehow in the NCAA.
All right, what does your off season look like with PHNX?
I mean, our last episode of McHale Madness is this Thursday, and then, I only do basketball, so I'll cover basketball, and then we'll take a little hiatus until next season, and that's the way it goes. And my day job is not doing a podcast. It's doing operations for all 5 of our cities, so I'll get back to that full time.
There you go. How is development going in that respect?
Fantastic. Things are on the up and up. We've had a really good year. We've had a really good last 18 months, and we'll continue to thrive. And hopefully we'll expand again here shortly. We're looking at about 1, 2, maybe 3 cities that we're going to be expanding to here in the next year. And things are looking really good.
And the 5 cities are Phoenix, Denver, Philly, Chicago. Who am I missing?
And Dallas.
Dallas. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, Saul Bookman, PHNX, All City Networks. Saul, always great to see you here covering the Wildcats, and we'll look forward to talking about it again next season.
Safe travels, bud. Appreciate
Absolutely. Saul Bookman, PHNX. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s. Don't forget, she's got a quote for you coming up at 5:12. Right now, she's got your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. With collisions Tucson Boulevard and Drexel, Rec Aviation and Ritchie Boulevard and Aviation Parkway. Oro Valley, earlier crash at Lambert Lane in La Cañada, then a secondary collision on Lambert Lane west of La Cañada. Also heads up for some slowing on 22nd Street at Park Avenue. And I'm Cricket, and your weather, 58 the low, sunny, 87 tomorrow, and 83 now. That's your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Breakmasters.
You're close to your journey's end. You're winning half the battle, and then it happens. A rattle. You got this. Just head on over to any Breakmasters stop sign. Download coupons and schedule an appointment from your smartphone.
Breakmasters. We give you an honest break.
Hey, it's DK on the Sports Tip. Don't miss a minute of the best Arizona Wildcats coverage in town. Tell your Alexa device to play Wildcats Radio 1290. This is your home of Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Family outgrowing your car? Hughes Federal Credit Union can help you get the car you want and the rate you need. Hughes is one of the only financial institutions in the country that doesn't switch loan rates based on a qualified buyer's credit score. That means you get our one-rate guarantee regardless of your credit score. We promise. When it's time for your next new or used car, Hughes is here to take you further. Check out our low rates on hughesfcu.org/auto and apply today. Certain restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
So, what is it that scares you the most?
The blue trucks from Essential Pest Control, Doctor. They leave bugs belly up.
I use one of those national companies.
Thanks, Doc. Those guys don't scare me.
Spring is bug season. Go blue with Essential Pest Control. We'll eliminate those bugs, bees, and termites. Buy local and stop paying too much for those national providers. Essential Pest Control is a bug's worst nightmare.
I can't sleep at night.
Essential Pest Control. Call 866-3029. That's 866-3029. Or visit essentialpest.com.
At Goldberg & Osborne,
We know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Just to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Ready to store a new vehicle? Whether you're looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and to work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, deal installed options, and $5.99 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or RoyalKia.com.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of Omaha Organization.
Spring is here and we've already experienced hot weather. Is your air conditioner ready for the long hot summer? For the month of April, Picture Rock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing will be offering a $99 home wellness plan for all new customers. This includes your spring maintenance, fall maintenance, and any plumbing maintenance. Call now, 520-492-0748, or make your appointment online at picturerockscooling.com.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was. And even better, Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step, and a team that will always be.
And get same-day coverage, 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. Ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
After sleeping on Arizona's 91-73 loss to Michigan, do you have different feelings about what you saw? 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Our guy our guy K-Dub, who was really upset on Saturday night, slept on it and has new perspective today, chimes in on the YouTube channel, says Arizona just had a bad night, worst night to have it. I never thought Michigan was a better team. How many air balls and in-and-out shots were there? And Michigan had shots rattle in. Just not our night. That was K-Dub. A little bit more calm today than he was on Saturday night when he was claiming we'll never win anything with Tommy Lloyd. But again, this is it's going to be interesting. There's going to be bodies to replace. And we're not going to dive in too far today on what the roster construction is going to look like. There'll be plenty of time for what I like to term the silly season of how this roster gets built going into next year. But there's definitely going to be at least, you would think, 6 guys that you have to replace. I am of the ilk of what we heard from Saul. I'm not sure, based on some things that I've heard as well, that Dwayne Erstode will be back, but we'll see. I'd love to see him come back. I think there's a lot of potential there, but we'll have to kind of see how that all plays out as we move forward. So if you have new feelings on the game from Saturday night and what you saw, 520-848-1290, as we are just a little bit under an hour away from tip-off here of the game tonight between the Michigan Wolverines and the UConn Huskies. I was out a little bit, went out to lunch today. I had to go get some Steak and Shake, guys. You cannot come to the Midwest. And like Brian Jeffries said on the show the other day, you can't come to the Midwest and not get you some Steak and Shake. So I had to go get me. I'm not a big fan of their fries. Their fries are even skinnier than the fries at In-N-Out Burger. But I love me of the smash burger style that you get at places like Steak and Shake, In-N-Out Burger. Buffalo Wild Wings does the smash burger concept really well. I like it. It's smaller patty, no red on the inside, which I like. I don't like my burgers with red. I'm not a medium well kind of guy. I want my burger well cooked. And so smash burger style is usually how you're going to get that in today's day and age. I don't need a third pound or a quarter pound burger that half of it is red inside. That's not my style burger. So I had to get me some Steak and Shake. I'm like I said, I'm still disappointed that the Steak and Shake is no longer in the Union, because if it was, I probably would go to the University of Arizona Union a little bit more.
Do you know where it's from?
The original Steak and Shake?
Yep.
Bloomington, Illinois. Right?
Even better, Normal.
Illinois. Well, Normal, yeah. Actually, it is on the Normal side of the line. I missed that because I've been there many times.
Do you know where In-N-Out is from?
Orange County?
About 20 miles from campus of USC.
Ah.
So both of those places have some interesting history with you yourself, DK.
Yes.
Yeah. Literally In-N-Out and Steak and Shake are both from two areas that you're very familiar with.
Now, the one thing I will ask, though, is that we're talking about Steak and Shake and how you're upset that it's not here in Tucson, or it's not very close to where you are here. My question is, what's wrong with Freddy's? I find Freddy's steak burgers to be pretty good.
I don't think I've been to Freddy's. I've seen
very
it,
good,
but I've not been there.
Very good smash style burgers.
Okay.
If you're talking about thin fries, I mean, Freddy's steak burger fries are about as thin as it gets. And they've got a really good fry sauce. But hey, that's just me talking about the food and everything like that. But again, if you're out in Indianapolis, you have to take a trip out to Steak and Shake. Absolutely.
No question about that. So I satisfied. I didn't get to St. Elmo. I looked online yesterday, but there were no seats available, no tables available on Sunday, as I didn't think there would be, with it being kind of the off day and probably everybody wanting to eat there.
Do you want to get the short, not long-winded thoughts of the closer before we go to our 2020 updates from Dragon Ball?
Yeah, let's do that.
You know who I mean?
The closer.
Yeah, the closer of our post-game shows.
Oh, you mean Mr. Mauricio?
I don't know.
Hello.
Caller, are you there?
Hi. God bless you and Jesus. How are you?
I am not Jesus. I am not Jesus. Mauricio. I'm
thank
David.
Him, the Lord Jesus, who can save from hell and get us to heaven. Yeah, life goes on. I mean, we went as far as the Final Four, and I said a prayer for them before the game because we were at the church. We were doing the drama Rise 3 nights. A lot of people got saved. So I decided to go there to try to, reach people again. And I was praying. Yeah, we were praying. I was praying and saying prayer with Purdue at halftime, just this time, we've struggled. And let's not forget the Pima Aztecs women. They won the national championship.
How about that?
Let's not forget them. Yeah,
Hey,
man.
Mauricio,
if we couldn't do it.
Mauricio, were you
if
listening?
We couldn't do it. The women did it.
Mauricio, were you listening the day we had the 2 girls in studio?
I did not. I just was remembering them. And the men were undefeated, weren't they? And then they couldn't win the championship.
No, they fell short again.
Were they undefeated?
No, they finished with 1 loss. They lost the second round game, and then they won their final 2 games to finish in 5th place. So I believe they finished 37-1.
Yeah. On the regular schedule, they were undefeated. Yeah. That was awesome. If they couldn't do it either, the women did. Yeah, our shouts go to the women, They champions, they're national champions. As I was selling the paper, I was glimpsing at the Pima College, there's nothing to feel sad about. We went that far, and Coach of the Year, Tommy Lloyd, and promising. It looks promising. It looks, looks exciting. It looks exciting. We did beat UConn. We beat Houston twice, didn't we?
We beat Houston twice. Yes.
Yeah. See. Yeah, we had some great wins. Yeah, nothing to be slowed down about. And just life goes on and keep playing. We have hope, and soon the Lord will take us home. And with everything going on.
Well, I don't know, Mauricio. I'm not ready to go home yet. I'm not. At least, I'm not ready for the Lord to take me home just yet. I'd like to think I have a few more years to get some things accomplished on this planet.
Yeah, it's good not to get distracted, trying to get married, trying to get wealthy, trying to this and that when the Lord can come back anytime,
Yeah.
Hopefully not. Hopefully, because of people getting saved, like the past 3 nights at my church, that's what helps the world actually, because the more people are getting saved, the more time God will give the world. Because if you remember Noah and Lot, there wasn't even one righteous person. Lot built the whole ark, and Noah. He built the ark, and he was the only one that went in the ark, the only righteous man, actually, if you remember. Everybody, mocked and didn't get ready, That's sad, and now, there's 4 billion of us and around the world, Christians, and more are responding more because of the helper, the Holy Ghost. Without the helper, we're very weak.
Yep.
We're weak.
For
Any
sure.
of us would have felt like Adam.
Yep.
Been forbidden from the fruit, and we fell. We went to it.
Hey, Mauricio, I want you to keep listening because I got something that I think you'll love. We're gonna play you what Koa Pete had to say after the ball game about. He spoke a little bit about his faith, and I think you'll get if you hadn't heard that, Mauricio, I think you'll get a kick out of that. We appreciate your.
Hey,
call.
Mo, call back, but next time don't call back less than 3 minutes before we're gonna end the hour and we have to leave. So we'd love to hear your thoughts, but we got to go. Okay, buddy?
Yeah, thank you a lot. And if I remember what I was going to say. Let's keep thinking the national championship. We're not done yet, and Lloyd being the most winningest coach, that's I think after thing like McBride, the tight
Hey,
end of
Mauricio,
the.
bear down, buddy. Bear down, okay?
Yeah, record after record. God bless you.
All right. Bear down, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
5 and 10 years. 5 and 10 years. That's the goal now. Tommy said it. Let's go to 5 and 10 years. Then we can say we really got something going here in Tucson. All right, DK on the Sports Tip. 2 hours in the books coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana. The Final Four, the national championship game, a little less now than an hour from tip-off next door at the Lucas Oil Stadium. We'll be there tonight to watch that, and then we're headed to Cincinnati to fly home in the morning. We'll tell you more about all of that coming up straight ahead. Right now, Dragon Ball's got everything happening in sports in Southern Arizona as well as sports around the world.
A lot of stuff happening on the Diamonds here in Arizona, but we're going to look at the campus-wide Diamonds. It was a tough week for baseball. Their finale with the school up north and ASU ended in a loss. The Sun Devils end up taking the series victory on Saturday. Arizona now falls to 3-9 in conference play and 10-21 overall, leaving them tied now for last place in the conference with the Houston Cougars. Meanwhile, softball couldn't get the series sweep over Iowa State today. Cyclones walked off the Cats, but Arizona softball still got 2 wins in their doubleheader yesterday on Easter, including a 7th-inning rally in the nightcap of that game. Meanwhile, on the Diamondbacks side of the Diamond, they managed to go ahead and finish the series with the Braves on a high note. Ketel Marte walked it off for Arizona, his second walk-off against the Braves and his 3rd overall in his career. But while the Diamondbacks enjoy their day off today, starter Merrill Kelly still has a ways to go before his return to the lineup, as he's scheduled for another rehab start before he's reinstated from the injured list. Now, Torey Lovullo talked about the reason as to why Kelly is slated for another rehab start rather than reinstating off of the injured list.
This is the best thing for Merrill in his long-term health. End of story. That's it. He's ready. He's sharp. He wants to pitch. He wants to go out and compete. However, we feel like it's just coming back from an injury. This is the best thing for him. And so we're going to make sure that when he gets back here and arrives back into this mix, that he's here for another 30-plus starts. That's it.
Again, the Diamondbacks will hit the road to New York tomorrow to take on the Mets squad that will be without Juan Soto, who just hit the injured list. Expected to miss about 2 to 3 weeks with a calf strain there. And big news out of the WNBA, the Chicago Sky agreed to trade forward Angel Reese, the Atlanta Dream. This wasn't going for the Atlanta Dream. They're sending 2 first-round selections, the 2027 and 2028 to Chicago, and also received the right to a swap of the 2028 second-round picks there as well. Again, Reese averaged a career-high 14.7 points per game last season, earning her second All-Star nod in as many seasons there. And I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do, with press conferences, coaches' shows, and play-by-play.
It is over. Cats have won it.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. With some slowing westbound Speedway at Maine, westbound Grant Road at I-10, backups for both directions of travel on Alvernon at Grant Road. Traffic at Alvernon and Grant down to 1 lane each direction, no left turns permitted. 58 the overnight low, sunny, 87 tomorrow, and 82 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Burger King. Burger King has been working on the Whopper, and thanks to you, it's never tasted better. Flame grilled beef, crisp produce, and a perfectly toasted bun. Whether it's been weeks or years, come try the Whopper again for only $3.99 on Whopper Wednesday. Terms apply. Visit bk.com/terms.
Download our app. It slaps. Nobody covers Southern Arizona sports. The flagship home for Arizona Wildcats athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh no, how bad? When will my AC be fixed?
You know, I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air-conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down. Turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Thana Ogden Nation.
It's Truck Month at O'Reilly Chevrolet, and supplier pricing is going on right now. Check out our great lineup and save big. Get up to $12,475 off the 2026 Silverado LD, up to $7,500 off the 2025 Blazer EV, and up to $2,500 off the 2026 Traverse. Truck Month is happening now. Find us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or go to O'Reilly.com. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
All right, get the homeowners warm this winter. Now, let's get ready for summer.
It's super tune-up time at Right Way. We'll perform our 42-point Energy Saver tune-up on your air conditioning system for just $79. We'll remove years of dirt, grime, and leaves from your outdoor unit to help your system run more efficiently and reliably, all for only $79. If you have an AC that leaks refrigerant, we'll also include a leak check at no charge. And if you call this week and ask for the early bird special, you can get the entire service for just $59. Call today. If it's worth doing, do it the right way.
Are you planning home renovation? Getting quotes on windows, doors, cabinets, countertops, or flooring? Before you commit, visit the Window Depot and make sure you're not overpaying. The Window Depot is your one-stop shop for top quality products at the lowest prices. We're locally owned and operated with no installers and no middlemen, so you'd save big. Perfect for DIYers, contractors, and homeowners. Visit a location near you or shop online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Family outgrowing your car? Hughes Federal Credit Union can help you get the car you want and the rate you need. Hughes is one of the only financial institutions in the country that doesn't switch loan rates based on a qualified buyer's credit score. That means you get our one-rate guarantee regardless of your credit score. We promise. When it's time for your next new or used car, Hughes is here to take you further. Check out our low rates on hughesfcu.org/auto and apply today. Certain restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
The jungle has moved to afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Tune to DK on the Sports Tip weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at iccu.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hour number 3 of our show here from the Final Four. National Championship night. Tip-off coming up at about, scheduled for 45 minutes from now, 5:49. Tip-off Michigan and Connecticut. Connecticut trying to win their third title in 4 years. Michigan trying to get back into the winner's circle for the first time since I graduated from high school in 1986. 520-848-1290 is the number if you'd like to talk about that. Dragon Ball, you are a gamer, correct?
Yes, I am.
Have you ever been to Gen Con here in Indianapolis?
I've not been to Gen Con. I've been to some conventions in the past, but I've never been to Gen Con specifically.
Okay, is that a relatively big one for the gaming world, or?
Considering the loss of a couple of big gaming conventions like E3, which is the Electronic Entertainment Expo and stuff like that, Gen Con's become a pretty big one in regards to like the gaming sites and stuff like that.
So Mark Bowling checks in. He's watching the show on the YouTube channel today. He says, always get Steak and Shake in Indy during Gen Con. He always gets Steak and Shake during Gen Con. He says, DK, you've got to go to Loftmiller's and get a pork tenderloin. I love me some pork tenderloin. They're not far from Steak and Shake. Yeah, we'll see. Now I got a decision to make. Do I go to the game or do I go to Loft Miller's because I could probably get a pretty good table tonight since everybody's going to be at the game? And get that pork tenderloin before I head back down the road to Cincinnati.
Yeah, DK, what are the odds that everybody has that same thought as you?
I'll have to get on, what's it called, the table app and see if I can get in a reservation over there. I might do that. That sounds like a good pork tenderloin is my kind of thing. Thank you, Mark Bowling, I should say, for checking in.
Would you like a live check-in?
Yeah, well, let me read one more. Tracy Me Girl, who's cousin Tracy, says Steak and Shake fries, meh. So she's not a big fan of Steak and Shake's fries either. All right, let's go to the phones and hear from Rob. You're on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for calling, Rob.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
We are great. We are
All
great,
right,
Rob.
good. Hey, so here's my deal. Is when it comes to the loss against Michigan, it is nothing more than we had a bad night and Michigan had a great night.
Mm-hmm.
Any fan that is reading into this further than that is just missing the entire season. I mean, you want to talk about, we talk about the resume. Resume is open heart surgery on reality of what these guys went through for the whole season. So you're talking about gauntlet, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about beginning of the season. They knock off Florida. They knock off UCLA. They knock off Connecticut. They knock off Auburn. They knock off Alabama. Then you have the season. And the season is hard enough. You got the Big 12 Conference. You're playing teams like Cincinnati, UCF, TCU, right? Then they have gauntlet number 2. Gauntlet number 2, we've got BYU, we've got Houston, we've got Kansas, and Iowa State and Houston. So, you're talking about a team that how long were we ranked number 1 in the country during the season? Probably at least 5 weeks.
No, 9, I think.
Right?
9. I think it was 9.
Okay. So 9 weeks, we're ranked number 1 in the country. We go 22-0. I think that's a new school record.
It is.
For undefeated.
Yeah.
Okay. So we do that. Tommy Lloyd gets Naismith College Coach of the Year. Jaden Bradley gets Big 12 Player of the Year. Tobe Awaka gets Six-Man Player of the Year. We win the Big 12 Conference. We win the Big 12 Tournament. For those that don't know, that is by far the most difficult conference in America for basketball, in my humble opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we are not a perfect team. We're not a perfect team. We know that we struggle with outside shooting. That's really not our game. And the fact of the matter is this. Sometimes you come out and, as you had talked about a few minutes ago, shots don't fall. So everything falls for Michigan just about, right? I think when you take a look at this season and even getting to the Final Four for the first time in 25 years, massive achievement. Man, we have got to get behind this new era in Wildcat basketball. Tommy Lloyd, he is the man, and we got to take our hat off and be so proud of this team and what they accomplished this season. One loss at the end of just a bad night is it's just what it is. So that's my view.
All right, Rob, I appreciate your thoughts. Always well spoken, always well thought out. And what are you going to remember most? What's your favorite thing about this season?
Oh my gosh, where do you begin? There's so many memories. You sit there and you look at just Burries with his outside shooting and his driving the lanes and fast breaks. You look at Jaden with his, just being a captain of the team, and you look at Koa Pete with his presence, and then you look at Tobe Awaka with, the beast of rebounds, right? I don't know. It's just, It's just, I think the memory of this season is that it's actually incredibly overwhelming how blessed we were to have these guys and to have the coaching staff that we have. Simple as that.
There you go. Rob, thank you for your call.
All right. Thank you.
Absolutely. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. I think for most people that is the sentiment that they're going to take away from this 25-26 season and this Arizona Wildcats ball club. And you've seen a lot of that come across the message boards and the social media platforms this weekend, as people are just proud of what this team was able to accomplish this season and getting back to the Final Four. And really even more than that, just the guys that were on this team. It was a very, very great group of likable young men, like you mentioned, Braden Burries. And they weren't the most, and we talked about it the other night, not maybe the most demonstrative in terms of their personalities, not a lot of crazy personalities. I mean, Yvonne's not maybe necessarily a crazy personality, but he's definitely more charged up than some of those other guys. And I think that's something that a lot of fans like, but just the cerebral minds as well mix in on this team with guys like Evan Nelson and Toby Awaka, who also brought it out on the court. I think this was a group that people are really going to have fond memories of as they move forward past this season.
It's been 30 years since there was a great college basketball team. And that was when a guy named Kevin Garnett became the first player to leave high school and go straight to the NBA. That was 1995, Kobe 1996. Do you know when the one and done trend started? Early 2000s. That was like the Greg Oden era. So what am I even talking about? Well, to get consistently great teams, you need to have guys who are juniors and seniors as the core group of that team who have played together for 3 years under the same coaching staff to get to that level of consistency. Those great teams we think of, DK, are all from our era of college where you had, I'm talking about big Power 4, Power 5 schools that have guys stay together for 3 or 4 years that could have been good enough to go to the NBA earlier. That ship sailed a long time ago. So what do we have now? Well, you have a group like this Arizona team, which had 4 upperclassmen leading the way and 4 freshmen to help them. And obviously those guys were not freshmen. We talked all about that all year long. Those guys were, way advanced for their ages, and some were a little bit older as freshmen. But the idea that you're going to be perfect every single night out, and as Rob said, we all think if Michigan and Arizona played 10 times, it'd be evenly matched up. Arizona might win by 20 a couple of those times as well. It was a C game from Arizona and A game from Michigan. But the truth is, guys, is that there are no great, consistent college basketball teams anymore because you have to get to the NBA to start your clock, and that's the Kevin Garnett rule, in which he got the $100 million contract while Magic and Larry and those guys were making $5 million a year. And that's why the NBA clock started in the late 90s, and that's why college players, as soon as they see their names being mentioned among lottery potential draft picks, they have to get their clock started. Therefore, college basketball doesn't have the level of consistency it once did.
Imagine a world where Phi Sigma Gemma only has 1 year. You don't have Hakeem and Clyde together.
I mean, think about that UNLV team, right? Like the undefeated UNLV team with all those guys, Greg Anthony and everybody. Like they would not have been together for more than 2 years in this era, and they were together for 4 years. So that's what I mean. Like that truly dominant, older, upperclassmen-led, star-led upperclassmen teams, they don't exist anymore.
Yeah, and rest in peace, Gerald Patio, one of my favorite players from those UNLV teams who passed away in an unfortunate auto accident this past weekend. All right, let's bring in the 4th member of our team. Now, Cricket is back with us, and it is time for Cricket's Got Quo.
Yeah, we don't have a sounder yet, but
we don't need one. Save that budget money for your next road trip.
Oh, we got music though.
There you go.
Oh, we got some mood music.
Oh, fancy.
We got some some Zen music here, huh?
We're moving up.
Yeah, right.
Yes. All right, you ready?
Yes, we're ready.
This is not the end. It is not even the beginning of the end, but it is perhaps the end of the beginning.
I like that. That's very uplifting on a day like today when we are still drowning in the sorrows of our loss to Michigan.
A very fitting quote.
Okay, so now we got to play the guessing game of who wrote that, right?
Well, that was Churchill.
Yes, from 42.
This guy gets them all. I mean, we got to start tracking
these. WW2.
See, we got to start tracking these like we do the
Can you do it in the
picks,
Churchill cadence?
I would absolutely lose these.
Dragon Ball, can you do that in the cadence of Churchill is the real question.
This is not the end.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not the end. This is not the beginning. This is not the beginning of the end.
Nailed
that
it.
was really good.
Wow, look at you, Mr.
That
Impressions.
was good.
I may have watched Darkest Hour a couple times.
I love that.
Practice
Churchill's one of my favorites. That was really
that.
good. Dang, I had no idea.
Do a little bit of voice work on the side.
Wow, Dragon Ball.
I do a little bit of voice acting on the side.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Well done.
Appreciate it.
All right. See, he said something about he wants one of these. Cricket, I'm doing the show today from an office pod. Have you ever been? Have you ever been in one of these office pods?
Is it like literally a pod, like a moving pod?
No, they might be able to move it. It's not moving. I didn't see any wheels underneath it, but I'm sure they probably could move it if they had to.
Dragon Ball showed me a picture. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You're in your little box.
Yeah, it's like a little box. It's got air condition. It's got lights. It's got enough plugs for me to plug everything in, and I can't hear anything going on outside. It's soundproof.
Oh, nice.
You know what he said, Cricket, is it's soundproof, but not smell-proof, so he can smell the barbecue in the hallway, but he can't hear anything going on out there. That seems like torture.
It's not hermetically sealed, I think is the term.
These lights are pretty, if you're watching on the video stream, these lights are actually, it's only one light, but it's pretty good. It's lighting me up pretty nice for the folks watching on our video screen today.
How is your temperature? I know you like it warm.
In here? Yeah, I mean
Yes.
it's fine. It's comfortable fine. It's not like the studio back home where.
Oh, boy.
But now I do have my heavy sweater on today because it was cold outside. So,
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I'm comfortable in here. I'm not freezing my giblets off.
Okay, good. I'm glad your giblets are okay.
My giblets are okay. All right, we will programming announcement. We will not, since I'll be traveling tomorrow, we're going to take tomorrow off and reset, recharge. We'll be back with you on Wednesday. So we'll hear another quote from Cricket coming up on Wednesday, unless you want to mix in a quote with the traffic tomorrow while we're out, Cricket.
I'll quote something trafficable quote. Something.
There you go.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5. She's got your traffic and your weather.
And from the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Some slowing on 22nd Street at Park Avenue, and that closure's still in effect. 22nd Street closed. Tucson Boulevard to Cherry Bellstra Avenue, that closure in effect for a few years. So you could use Broadway or Aviation Parkway, maybe Silver Lake instead. On 58, the overnight low, sunny, 87 tomorrow and 82 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Every now and then you find a deal that actually feels like a win. With Straight Talk Wireless, you get more and pay less. Now that's a good deal. No contracts, no credit checks, no surprises, all on Verizon's 5G network. Find it in the same place you've always found straightforward prices, exclusively at Walmart and StraightTalk.com.
Thank you to Brett Brennan and your Arizona Wildcats for bringing the cup back home.
Luis Sano dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
State champs again.
Yep. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Discover your perfect vehicle at Cactus Auto, Tucson's trusted destination for certified pre-owned cars for over 30 years. They offer a wide range of certified pre-owned vehicles featuring the brands and models you love. Their finance experts are here to provide you with top dollar trade-in offers and help you find the best financing options, regardless of your credit history. With approved credit, enjoy no payments for up to 90 days. Trust Cactus Auto for quality, affordable pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, all backed by incredible savings and a 7-day exchange guarantee. Visit cactusauto.com.
Back your hometown favorite. Get your very own exclusive University of Arizona debit card from Hughes Federal Credit Union. Pair your new card with a free checking account that earns dividends with no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and convenient 24/7 online and mobile banking. Visit one of our 7 convenient branch locations to get your card instantly or open an account online at hughesfcu.org/wildcats. Show your Wildcat spirit all year long with Hughes Federal Credit Union. Certain restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
Congratulations to our University of Arizona men's basketball team. Hi, I'm Josh Bishop, owner of Fork and Fire in Oro Valley and Catalina. Come join us this Saturday for the game, where you can enjoy $3 beers and half-price tater bomb appetizers alongside our delicious barbecue. Enjoy the game with fellow Wildcat fans and watch the excitement on our big screens. Enjoy great beer, great food, and a great game. Fork and Fire is your neighborhood smokehouse and grill. Join us at locations in Oro Valley and Catalina. Let's go, Arizona.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Congratulations, Coach Lloyd and the Arizona Wildcats on their drive to the Final Four. For nearly 6 decades as an official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics, we've seen a long history of Wildcat teamwork and excellence. We know Arizona drivers need someone they can count on for their car's next championship drive. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care will be there with affordable tires and award-winning service at 14 area locations. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960. We're here to get you there.
From offices and warehouses to retail spaces and restaurants, Bright Lighting transforms your environment. At Arizona Commercial Lighting, we've been proudly locally owned and operated for nearly 40 years. Our extensive inventory of in-stock lighting solutions is designed to meet both commercial and residential needs, with quality, variety, and value you won't find anywhere else. Visit us at 1436 East 17th Street or explore our offerings online at azcommerciallighting.com. Be sure to ask about available TEP rebates. Arizona Commercial Lighting, powering business through precision lighting.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Donna Ogden Nation.
Hi, I'm Jordan Benjamin with Dunright Services. When your home or business needs HVAC, plumbing services, or electrical work, trust a true local Tucson company, Dunright Services. We pride ourselves on delivering top-notch service, fair pricing, and expert craftsmanship. The job isn't finished unless it's done right. Weekend emergency? No problem. Just give us a call. We're here when you need us. You deserve the best, and Dunright Services delivers. Call us today for a free estimate at 520-369-3966.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. There's a new champion in Division I college basketball.
History for UCLA. For the first time in NCAA division history, the UCLA Bruins have won the women's basketball national championship.
Ryan Radke with the call here on Westwood One as UCLA dominated South Carolina 79-51 in yesterday's NCAA title game. After just one loss all season, Sunday's win was the Bruins' 31st straight. UCLA was led by 6 seniors, headlined by 2-time first-team All-American Lauren Betts. She capped her career with 14 points and 11 rebounds and was named the Final Four's most outstanding player.
We've created something so special here at UCLA, and I just think about all the hard work that went into this and my best friends to win it with them. I'm just so happy I can't even put the words together.
With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Maggie Gray on Westwood.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Knock, knock, Capital One Bank guy.
Wow, Charles Barkley?
I just moved into the neighborhood. Can I borrow some Wi-Fi?
Yeah, sure, Chuck. That's what the Capital One Cafe is here for. Open 7 days a week at most locations.
Oh, can I use your ATM? My dog walker only takes cash.
Anything for a neighbor.
Can I try the catchphrase?
Sure, take it for a spin.
There's no fees or minimums on Capital One checking accounts.
Nice, Chuck. I'll take it from here. Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Visit CapitalOne.com/bankguide for details. Capital One and name member FDIC.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
As you heard in our women's sports update right there, UCLA is the national champions of the women's college basketball world in Division I, as called, and you heard it right here on Wildcats Radio 1290 yesterday by Arizona grad Ryan Radke.
Rice dribbling over on the left. Hesitation move. Step back. Wing three on the way. It's good! At the buzzer. And UCLA ends the first quarter with a 21-10 lead. Hawkes, lob it over the top. Betts makes the catch. Goes right around Edwards and laid it in. Lauren Betts bullying Joyce Edwards down on the block. And UCLA is up by 20. Corey Close with her glasses off. The tears streaming down her face. And now a smile for the UCLA head coach. South Carolina inbounds the ball. McDaniel will bring it across. Start the 8 clap in Westwood. History for UCLA. For the first time in NCAA division history, the UCLA Bruins have won the women's basketball national championship. Make room in that trophy case. The Bruins are bringing home the national title. A dominant win against South Carolina, 79-51, and UCLA has its first ever NCAA women's basketball championship.
I mean, guys, this was like a who's who of the best players in the Pac-12 from about 2-3 years ago. You had Gina Nipkins, who we all remember from Utah, the flashy point guard from Utah. You had Charlize Ledger-Walker, who was the flashy guard from Washington State. She's now on that team. And then you've got Lauren Betts, who started her career at Stanford back in the day. I mean, it was like Corey Close went out and just said, okay, I'm tired of letting y'all beat up on me. Y'all need to come play here so we can win a title together. And that's what they did. I didn't even know Charlize Ledger-Walker was still playing basketball until I listened to a little bit of that game yesterday. Good for her, because she had a serious knee injury back a few years ago when she was still at Washington State. Great for her to have another opportunity and to end her college career with a national championship yesterday for UCLA. Dominant performance by the Bruins to beat the behemoth from South Carolina, 79-51.
Also, Juju's coming back soon.
She is. She is. I
just know it's like so funny because UCLA wins their first ever women's national championship, and then there's like this other side of the town, DK, who are, that's like the biggest what if ever, because the Trojans were that team from LA who were making such a big splash 2 years ago. And obviously the Bruins, as you said, bringing all those extra pieces in. And that coach, the coaching style they have there is very underrated. And they obviously play a really strong style of defense. I don't think anybody saw them winning over South Carolina quite to that degree, especially after what South Carolina did to UConn. But yeah, huge congratulations to our rivals and former members of the Pac-12. I think it's good to see basketball on the West Coast healthy and happy and doing big things, DK.
Yes.
No question about that. I'm mad that I didn't pick them. I thought I had picked them on my bracket that I did, but I had actually picked Connecticut, and that did not end well. And then Gino Ariama made a fool of himself once again. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with him and Dawn Staley, but there's times when Gino just maybe gets a little bit too full of himself. I think, and this was one of those times. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I haven't been watching close enough. Maybe she's not consistent in coming out for the handshake. That is something that all the coaches do. Some coaches come out earlier than other coaches. I mean, if you're at McHale Center, Tommy doesn't come out. So I think there's maybe 2 minutes left on the countdown clock before they do the introduction.
That's not what that was about, though. I mean, they can say that. That's fine. But that's quite simply Gino Auriemma having a 54-game winning streak, on the verge of his, 7th undefeated national championship, and getting his teeth kicked in. I mean, they were not in that game. And so, he's always been a bit of and losses. Coach Auriemma can be a little salty, and we've seen that over the last 3 decades. I don't think that there was anything long-term about their relationship. I doubt that they'll, not have cordial conversations moving forward. But to me, that was just a guy. How old is Gino these days? Mid-70s? Got to be getting up there, right? So, that was a guy who, in his mind, when he went to sleep the night before, we're on our way to our 6th or 7th undefeated national championship in South Carolina. The Gamecocks had other plans that game. So, to me, that exchange that he had with Coach Staley at the end there was just a dude who got in his feels and was really just not prepared for that moment. He didn't think his players played up to their – and South Carolina is a really tough team, right?
Yeah,
which is,
that's
again,
a tough out.
Why it's surprising that UCLA did that to the Gamecocks, because that's generally what they do to other teams.
A lot of stuff happening in sports this weekend. The Roadrunners lost a couple of games to Henderson. They are not currently in the playoffs. The Roadrunners have 6 games, I'm sorry. They have 6 games remaining. 4 of those games are on the road, and they are 5 points behind San Diego in the 8th position in the Pacific Division. So right now they are not in the postseason, and so they've lost now 3 straight with 6 left to try to turn this thing around and steal into that number 7 spot. But that's going to be tough. 5 points off of the pace against the rivals from San Diego. We did, though, get some good news from the parent club this weekend. The moment that we have been talking about forever has finally happened.
Rossi sent it in behind the net. Linus Carlson knocked away, cleared away. Opportunity through center. Keller scores. Hat trick, Clayton Keller. And that will do it.
The Utah Mammoth have won 40 games. For the first time since 2012 as the Arizona Coyotes that this franchise has reached the 40-win mark. It had been so elusive, but this team finally gets back. This franchise has finally gotten back to 40 wins on the season. So
and they were inching Dragon Ball. I mean, you're the big hockey fan among us. They've been inching that way the last 3-4 years with that young nucleus that they had. And I think a lot of people expected when they made that move to Salt Lake that they would be in contention, if not first or second year, especially after picking up some people when you go through the expansion process. But good young nucleus for that Mammoths team. So not super surprising, although DK, I mean, I know you've been talking about it for 10 plus years. When are the Coyotes going to get there? And they never did, but Utah did.
And the main reason why it's not really that much of a topic right now is because they happen to be stuck in perhaps the most deadly western part of the conference in regards to their division. They're in the wild card spot, the top wild card seed, but they're in the division with 3 100-point franchises right now. So needless to say, they have a really good season. They're going to be potentially in that playoff spot, but they're going to have to go up against a tough out in the first round. But, hey, take 40 wins for what it is. This young core, they're learning how to win. And, hey, the Wild, the Stars, and the Avalanche, they're not going to be able to stay on the top for very, very long, I'd imagine. There's a lot of talk about the salary cap and what those teams are going to have to pay out for next year for their core players. So we'll see where the Utah Mammoth go in the next year with this as their building block.
How about 8-2 in their last 10 road games?
Yeah, no, they are absolutely a hard out on the road, which is why they're that one team. Every playoff, there's always that talk about what's the one team you don't want to play. Utah Mammoth are this year's NHL version of that because they seemingly don't care if they're the wild card team. They have a chance to win on the road seemingly with anybody they go up against.
All All right, I'm going to do a quick question of the day. I tried to pull up Loft-Miller's on Open Table, but they're not affiliated with Open Table. That's one of those places you can go and get book your tables online if you want to go out to eat. I don't know why a place like St. Elmo would be on there, but not Loft-Miller's, but that's the case. So quick question of the day. We'll take it here over the next 20 minutes or so before the end of the show. Should DK go to the national championship game tonight, which is about to tip off here in a few minutes, or should he go to dinner at Loft-Miller's Pub here in Indiana?
How many national championship games have you personally been present for?
I've been to one, and that was 2017 at.
See, because that's a part of the answer. Like,
Yeah.
if you've never, it doesn't matter if it's the team that you cover is there. Like, if you've never stood on the court side watching a national championship game in college basketball, you should definitely do that. But if it's a ho-hum thing, then that's up to depends on how hungry
What
you
would
are.
J-Dub do if he had been to a game? If he'd been to a national championship game before?
Well, follow-up question. Are the Chainsmokers going to be there? Because if the Chainsmokers are going to be there, I don't like that kind of music anyway. I would probably go to the game just because I think it's so rare that you have an opportunity to go to such a spectacle like that, right? Like a national championship game in football, college basketball, like those big revenue-generating sports where, a good portion of the world is tuning in. Those are pretty rare, Like I wouldn't turn down an opportunity to go if I hadn't been, if I had been the last 10, I wouldn't go. But
Did you see Danny Hurley walking into the building with his flat-billed hat on? He is so funny.
No. He's got a lot of confidence walking in that building.
I mean, he is just like, he thinks he is like the hottest thing since sliced bread, for sure. All right, when we come back, we'll get you our Casinos del Sol replay. We'll get you our top plays because we got a couple picks on the game. We'll figure out who we're taking tonight in the national championship game before it starts here in about 12 minutes. DK on the sports tip. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. 22nd and Cold Road and 22nd Street. New crash reported. We got some backups. Eastbound Broadway approaching Church Avenue, slowing westbound Congress as you approach Church Avenue. And for your weather, 58 the overnight low, sunny, 87 tomorrow and 82 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
Prepare yourself. Something extraordinary is about to break loose right in the center of town. Get ready for Casino del Sol. Bigger, brighter, bolder. We are where excitement doesn't just rise, it erupts. We are where fun doesn't just elevate, it takes flight. We aren't just a casino. We are the beginning of a new era. We are Casino del Sol, an enterprise of the Pascuayaki tribe.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Tune in Friday, April 10th as Chip Hale and your Arizona Wildcats take on the TCU Horned Frogs. First pitch is scheduled for 4 p.m. and pregame, starting at 3:45 p.m. right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Looking for top-notch lumber and framing? Johnson Manley Lumber has been your trusted expert since 1970, specializing in both residential and commercial projects. Our experienced teams, cutting-edge technology, and reliable supply chain ensure your framing is on time and on budget every time. We're proud to be employee-owned and community-rooted in Tucson. Learn more at johnsonmanley.net. Proud supporter of the University of Arizona radio broadcast. Go Wildcats.
Morning begins in the Rincon foothills. Rocking K, a master-planned community and place to call home, offering distinct neighborhoods designed to fit your lifestyle. Explore the outdoors, walk the trails, visit Saguaro National Park. Enjoy community parks and make new friends at Rocking K resident events. Walk to Vail School District's newest campus in Rocking K, Saguaro Creek. 17 model homes, 6 quality builders, move-in ready homes available from the 300s. Rocking K, designed by nature. a community by design.
It's DK on the sports tip. Did you hear what we were talking about?
Doing a lot of around the house work. New tub. We had to break up the concrete, reset the pipe.
You gonna start your own show?
Not a chance. I'm not a big HGTV guy.
How much of that work are you doing yourself?
The stripping was kind of my job. I ended up taking
stripping?
I took
You're
out the
stripping?
linoleum. I stripped out the
Am
linoleum.
I not paying you enough money that you got to strip for a living? DK on the sports tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management. As a boutique fiduciary investment firm, our clients have trusted us to guide them down their financial paths for decades. Whether you are an individual or family, business, foundation, or nonprofit, we are committed to your long-term goals and financial futures. We are proud supporters of the Tucson community and all that makes our city so special. Visit online at meridianwealthllc.com to learn more about Meridian today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
JT Auto, where their customers are family. Stop by their newest East Side location, conveniently located at 6947 East 22nd, just west of Cole. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guarantee, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where their customers are family. 372-7704. That's 372-7704 or jtautoaz.com.
Hi, I'm Jordan Benjamin with Dunright Services. When your home or business needs HVAC, plumbing services, or electrical work, trust a true local Tucson company, Dunright Services. We pride ourselves on delivering top-notch service, fair pricing, and expert craftsmanship. The job isn't finished unless it's done right. Weekend emergency? No problem. Just give us a call. We're here when you need us. You deserve the best, and Dunright Services delivers. Call us today for a free estimate at 520-369-3966.
All right, she's inside. Are you good?
Yeah. It's just, she's my baby girl, you know?
I do, and ceramic coating was a good choice.
She's beautiful.
Yep, I know.
Recon Auto Detailing. Enhance or restore your baby to her former glory with paint recondition, ceramic coating, paint protection, tinting, and more for full protection of your vehicle inside and out. New cars, old cars, we love them all. Recon Auto Detailing, 3829 North Oracle Road, Tucson. ReconDetail.com.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
The Lakers' Luka Doncic will head to Europe to receive specialized medical treatment on his grade 2 hamstring injury. The team also announced over the weekend that Austin Reeves will miss the remainder of the regular season with a grade 2 oblique injury. LeBron and the Lakers have 4 games left in the NBA regular season that ends this week. As of right now, the Lakers would face the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round of the NBA playoffs, but are currently tied with the Nuggets in the Western Conference standings. I'm Adam Abdallah.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
America, look around. Everywhere you go, prices are still high, rates have been whipsawing markets, and the debt and spending don't exactly scream stability. Experts say diversifying with intention is the #1 secret account that all American smart money uses to hedge against instability. Monetary Gold has been around since 2000, witnessing multiple economic setbacks. If you call now, Monetary Gold will cover up to a lifetime of your IRA fees on qualified accounts. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, final segment of our final show here from Indianapolis, Indiana, and the Final Four. Game time coming up in about 5 minutes scheduled. So our guy Mark Bowling says definitely go to the game. Game over Loft-Millers. Mark Bowling, who suggested Loft-Millers, says go to the game. Lunch or dinner? Well, I'll have to, if I'm going to do it then, Mark, I'll have to come back at some point. Maybe I'll come
Dragon Ball,
back
you never weighed in. Are you hungry right now? Because that might change your opinion.
I'm a little hungry, but I think I would still go to the game, considering the fact of if I was out there, I flew to Indy, I'm there, and I don't have to make my flight until tomorrow. I can go ahead and pick something up on the way to the airport potentially. So, I'd go to the game. I'd go to the game myself.
Okay, all right. Well, I think that's where we're probably leaning then. All right, so who's going to win the game tonight? Let's find out. It's time for our Westwood One top plays of the day. So I think it's another day where we have a split decision on this. So we're going to hear from, I believe, Brad Evans and Pat Boyle. Let's hear from Brad Evans first.
Brad Evans here to help you beat the Bulls with Westwood One Sports. It's time to crown a champ. In the national title game, mighty Michigan is understandably a heavy favorite. Over 160 spots higher than UConn and effective field goal percentage offense this month. The Wolverines are a wagon. Hurley is a strategic genius, but the Beans and Blues snap the Big Ten title funk. I'm laying the 6.5 points. Bet smarter, beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
All right, Brad Evans does BetMGM tonight with his partner, Pat Boyle, who has something else to say about tonight's game.
I'm Pat Boyle here to help you beat the books. Natty tonight between Michigan and UConn, and I think Axel Lindeborg's injury will play a big factor down the stretch. Michigan's best player injured his ankle and knee in the first half against Arizona and only played 14 minutes, though scoring 11 points. He vowed to play tonight, but admitted he might just be a corner three-point shooter. Either way, I think Dan Hurley and the Huskies saved their best ball all season for this tournament, and they will keep it close. I'm taking the Huskies. I'm Pat Boyle, bet smarter, beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
Now, he said keep it close, so I'm believing that means he's taking the Huskies on the point line, which is taking the plus 6.5, because he didn't outright say the Huskies were going to win that. So what do you think, guys? My gut tells me this is going to be a close. Everybody's saying Michigan's going to blow them out tonight. My gut tells me this is going to be a close game. I thought the other night was going to be a closer game than it ended up being. So, but I'm going to take UConn plus the 6.5 tonight.
I mean, Illinois is the best offensive team in the nation coming in the past month of the stretch of the season, and lost in the 5 assists, 14 turnovers that Arizona had. Illinois had 3 assists versus UConn. 3. So, I mean, that's a very tough UConn team as well as far as defense is concerned. I would not be surprised to see them keep it close. If Michigan is rolling on all cylinders, it's really hard to see anybody, maybe outside of Arizona, running on all cylinders who can match up with them just because of the personnel they have. So I'll tell you, I mean, I'll hedge it by saying if Michigan plays their A game, they win by 10. But if they don't, if they have some foul issues, I'm not sure if Lindeborg's going to be out there and moving around like he normally is. That's a big factor as well. It's hard to bet against the coach from Stores that has the Hurley last name, because right now, I mean, did you see the stat that he hasn't lost past the Sweet 16 in 10 years?
Wow.
I think it's 17-0. So he's had a few years where they haven't gotten to the second weekend, but he hasn't lost past the second weekend since he's been there. So, I mean, yeah, really hard to bet against him, but Michigan is a juggernaut. There's no doubt.
I think that the Axel Lindeborg injury is maybe a little bit more played up than what it actually is. The main reason why we didn't see Lindeborg out there a lot against Arizona is because they didn't need him. They didn't have to go to Lindeborg to do what he has done throughout the tournament. And he was on the bike. He was back and forth. They were treating him as much as they possibly could. I think he'll be fine. He may have that initial, kind of getting the adrenaline going to
it's
get that ankle.
It's tough because the bike is to keep it from swelling. Because if you sprain your ankle like that, I've done it 100 times myself playing basketball, it will swell. And so keeping him moving and keeping him was to get him back in that game. Now, the issue is the next day is when the big swelling happens. So as far as his mobility, that right there, what you saw during halftime in the second half of that game is not indicative generally of what it might be today. Yeah. But clearly they didn't need him to beat Arizona handily, but he's their best player.
Yeah, I still think that you want to go ahead and look at the team that has a lot of the size advantage. I still say you want to look at Michigan here. It's probably going to be a 4-point game. But like you said, J-Dub, this guy just doesn't seem to lose when we get to April. He just does not seem to lose when you get to the final 2 weekends of the
He went down to Georgia, I'm telling you.
He made a deal. He made a deal with somebody.
The devil in Georgia, yeah. So you think, then you're taking the 6.5 in UConn?
Yep.
Right.
I would take that.
All right. That's what we're going to do then. 6.5 in UConn. Let's give you your Casino del Sol replay for today.
The Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
Daniel Suzak, Arizona baseball class of 2022, made his first Major League start 4 days ago. It would have been on Thursday night against the Mets, and boy, did he have a game.
Daniel Suzak in his first Major League at-bat. And Suzak, a base hit! And the Suzak family, oh my goodness.
Well, all spring long, we saw him go the opposite way. And here he gets a little lazy first pitch breaking ball that Peterson laid in there, and he goes the opposite way, and the traveling Suzaks are psyched.
So at bat number 2 for Daniel Suzak. And he's got another hit. There is no stopping that young man.
No, well, I mean, he lit it up in camp. I mean, Suzak was a Rule 5 guy. He had to really put on a show to win a job.
He's seen 2 pitches in the major leagues, and he's 2 for 2. And he's on for the 3rd time.
Well, I mean, he's a puzzle the Mets really haven't quite figured out. They don't know where to pitch him. So, a base on balls on 4 pitches, that's a sign of respect.
Here's Daniel Suzak with the Suzak section.
Well, he's lit that section up all night long.
Goodness. They might spend the night right in that section.
It ain't that easy, kid.
They're spending the night. Look at this. Look at this little guy. He's killing me.
Oh my goodness.
He's been on base 4 times. He's 3 for 3.
And then there was the baby.
Today's Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
And then there was the baby. His brothers was holding his son and cheering, and the baby was like flailing back and forth and started crying. That's another side thing to this. How about that? 4 at-bats or 4 plate appearances, 3 hits and a walk in his first Major League start.
I just love it that he got 2 hits on his first 2 pitches and then got walked on 4 pitches. That means that like the first 2 pitches he saw, he got singles on. The next 4 pitches, he got a walk. And then I think that 3rd hit that he had was, I think, about a 2-3, something like that. Or I mean, a 3-2 count, something like that. So he went deeper into the count on that 4th at-bat. But, yeah, first ever Major League at-bat, first ever pitch you ever see, Dragon Ball, and you find a way to go opposite field.
Hey, they got to go ahead and treat you with respect after a game like that. Clearly, you're seeing the game a lot faster than a lot of these guys that get called up pretty late or pretty early in the season are. So congratulations to Mr. Suzak.
We kind of ran out of time, but did you see what Joe Adell did?
Oh, gosh. We'll talk about Joe Adell on Wednesday for sure. I mean, just unbelievable. 3 stealing 3 home runs, including one in the 9th inning, falling into the stands.
Those are some Kenny Loftons. The first 2, he was climbing the ladder. I mean, that's like a 40-inch vert to get up there to rob those first 2, and then the 3rd one falling into the stands. But robbing 3 home runs in a game that your team wins 1 to nothing is just so outrageous to me.
All right, that was your Casino del Sol replay. So real quick on that, he joins his brother Andrew, Daniel Suzak, as Andrew also got a hit in his first Major League plate appearance. They are the 6th brother combo to ever do that in the major leagues. I'll give you that list when we come back on Wednesday. No show tomorrow, travel day. We'll be back with you on Wednesday. Thanks to Dan Iliot for joining us, as well as Saul Bookman, Cricket, Dragon Ball, David Amata, as well, J.W. Madden. My name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. That is our time here in Indianapolis, Indiana. We'll talk to you on Wednesday from home. DK on the Sports Tip. Appreciate you listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal
All right,
Injury
man, see you in a
Attorneys
bit.
Traffic
Yep.
Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. 22nd and Kolb Road and 22nd Street with a reported collision, Kolb Road and 22nd. A closure for road work northbound Park Avenue. Travel on northbound Park is closed between 36th Street to 22nd Street. And I'm Cricket for Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic.
This is Arizona men's basketball head coach Tommy Lloyd. You are listening to the home of Arizona Athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Are you planning a home renovation? Getting quotes on windows, doors, cabinets, countertops, or flooring? Before you commit, visit the Window Depot and make sure you're not overpaying. The Window Depot is your one-stop shop for top quality products at the lowest prices. We're locally owned and operated, with no installers and no middlemen, so you save big. Perfect for DIYers, contractors, and homeowners. Visit a location near you or shop online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
So, what is it that scares you the most?
The blue trucks from Essential Pest Control, Doctor. They eat bugs belly up.
I use one of those national companies.
Thanks, Doc. Those guys don't scare me.
Spring is bug season. Go blue, the Essential Pest Control. We'll eliminate those bugs, bees, and termites. Buy local and stop paying too much with those national providers. Essential Pest Control is a bug's worst nightmare.
I can't sleep at night.
Essential Pest Control. Call 866-3029. That's 866-3029. Or visit essentialpests.com.
Dreaming about a new kitchen, an RV, or a once-in-a-lifetime vacation? Turn your wish list into reality with a home equity line of credit from Hughes Federal Credit Union. Borrow between $10,000 and $250,000 and save with our limited-time offer to waive fees up to $975. With Hughes One Rate Guarantee, all our members get our same low rate, no matter your credit score. Your home takes you further. Visit hughesfcu.org/HELOC. Insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender. Certain restrictions apply.
Supplier pricing is happening right now at O'Reilly Chevrolet during Truck Month. That means big savings across our lineup. Take up to $4,000 off the 2026 Colorado, up to $5,500 off the 2026 Silverado HD, and up to $10,000 off the 2026 Equinox EV. Supplier pricing is going on right now, so don't miss your chance to save. Find us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or visit O'Reilly.com. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of five-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you're looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price, and it is treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and we work with our no-pressure, non-commission sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed option, $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
Spring is here and we've already experienced hot weather. Is your air conditioner ready for the long hot summer? For the month of April, Picture Rock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing will be offering a $99 home wellness plan for all new customers. This includes your spring maintenance, fall maintenance, and plumbing maintenance. Call now 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturerockscooling.com. Hey, it's David Kelly, DK on the Sports Tip. Don't forget to download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. It slaps. We've got full coverage of the Wildcats, the Suns, the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks, Pima College. Download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app today.
Hi, this is Peter Costa, former governor of the New York Stock Exchange and proud member of the Advisory Business Council with Meridian Wealth Management. One thing I've learned over 40 years on the floor is the value of a trusting relationship with your financial advisor. After all, everyone is a genius when the markets are going up, but when they drop, that's when the guidance of a professional is most important. For more information about Meridian, call 719-1433 or visit online at meridianwealthllc.com.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management.
registered investment advisor.
Nobody covers your cats like we do. We are the home of your Arizona Wildcats. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
The day shuts down. The games light up. This is BetMGM Tonight on Westwood One Sports.
Welcome on back to BetMGM Tonight here on Westwood One Sports. We've hit a dude